And that's important. We've created a society where we I'm up early because I got to get out here on this goddamn excavator that I rented. I got to get my money's worth, and it's so hot yesterday. I've been up since 6:30, but I said I walked the dog, all that good stuff. Then I said, dang, if I get out here on this excavator, I ain't gonna get off. So let me do a YouTube real quick, then I'll go because I'm gonna be gone. But like Ticket TV said, man, people got to understand we living in a day and time where everybody tries to get offended by everything so they don't have the conversations. Whether you like it or not, some of the stuff this man is saying is very true. And getting him off the internet or cutting him off in America is not going to help. We still going to feel the same way. We just going to be in the barbershop talking about it. So the things that he's saying, he has the kahunas to say, and most men get kicked in the ass by company policy. So they can't say what he's saying. But ladies, some of the stuff he's saying is true. I'm a man who's made over 6 figures since I've been 18 years old. And I'm telling you, I can do good or bad all by myself, making that type of money. So I've always looked at a woman like, what do you bring to the table? Everybody got an ass. Everybody got WAP. Yeah, it's a lot of WAP. And it's a lot of goddamn everything. So me making the type of money I made since 18 years old, what do you bring to the table other than that WAP and that all that other shit? Because I could stay single and get 3-4 WAPs at a time. I got a big old house. So yeah, you got to think about it. All that extra pumped up shit they tell you in the news, it really don't play out like that in the streets. I'm just saying, it really don't. So, and I think you ladies know that. And that's why it's so much hatred towards this brother, because he's like that father that tells a daughter the truth and she don't want to hear that shit. She's scrimping with him the whole time. And then a couple years later, because, in her mind, she know everything. Every young boy ain't like you, Dad. That's what she think. Until, goddamn, she go out here in the street and get hurt a little bit a few times. Then it's wounded warrior coming back to daddy. And daddy just, oh, okay, I told you, little ass. And some of you women and some of you little girls set out to prove them wrong. And it ain't going to work in your favor. I'm going to just tell you. Maybe 1 or 2 of you slip through the cracks out of the hundreds. But boy, look at here. It ain't, the numbers say he right. And that's why so many people mad. And I wish we would just learn to have conversations. Because there's some people talking about this man in such a way that, hell, that should get you canceled. You don't like what he's saying in an educated way, but then you can call him gay. You could say he a B. You could do whatever to him. But all he's saying is look up the numbers. I talk to clients. I got this. He asks you some questions. He don't agree with you. And then now he need to go after some of the shit y'all say. Shit. No, all WAP ain't good WAP, but there's some really good WAP. Boy, look here. This is a big old world, yo lady. I don't know what y'all be thinking about, but
do what I do, because I don't give a fuck. 1 or 2 people side with it, and them the 1 or 2 people that's rolling with me. I'm not looking at the majority. I told y'all from day one, the majority's not gonna side with you. I'm only gonna get subscribers here and there, and that's cool. I'd rather have 50 killers than 1,000 soldiers. Yeah. So they always gonna be mad. Welcome.
Listen,
Welcome.
that's just how it is. You have to check this out. Because we're warning guys about the bad woman, which now has pretty much leveraged most of the world. So the type of woman that is good is pretty much slim. We're not teaching hate. We're teaching understanding.
Relationships with old baggage and penalizing the new person for what the old person did. You just limit yourself from meeting a new person. You know what I mean? You drag old incidents right on into a new situation.
In the other communities, because they attack us, they attack the poor. That's part of their plan, against the poor people that got money to spend. That shit don't even sound right.
Well, it's always an experiment.
I got money to spend. Like, so y'all gonna play on our intelligence. If you calling us poor, then obviously we shouldn't have money to spend. But this is how they look at us and they program us. And
well, psychological warfare has always been the silent. I call it silent wars of psychological warfare because.
I'm gonna be safe, bro. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna ask you right now.
Keep your ass in the house, bro. All right, man.
Oh, I am.
Much love, man. Much love, man.
All right, brother. Peace.
Yeah. What's up, class? What's up, class? Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. That's how you pay your school tuition. Keep in mind that we don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, or religions. We cater to the truth. We cater to common sense. We call out bad behavior in both men and women, all right? All right, guys, so y'all see the title. Y'all see the thumbnail, guys. Y'all know what it is. Today is Judgment Day, guys. Today is open school night, guys. All right? So, again, guys, let's take a moment to go to the lockers. I want y'all to go to the lockers. I want y'all to put all your beliefs, all that shit that y'all get from them other coaches and them other life influencers. I want y'all to go to your lockers and put all that shit in your locker and come back to class. All right, guys? We're going to take a little break. I'm going to take a little break, give you guys a chance to do that. Salute to all you guys watching on the playback. You know what I mean? You here with us. All right, guys? So while y'all go do that, we're going to watch it. We're going to take a little break. All right, guys. So now that y'all put that up, let's get it in. All right, guys. So today we're gonna talk about child support, and we're gonna break it down to the molecule, guys. All right. I need you guys to understand that. You know what I mean? Where's all my guys that don't have kids? I need all my guys that watch me that don't have kids, because it's important that all men watch this live right here. And I need you guys to share this live. We need to get this out. You know what I mean? We got Miss Shabazz talking. I got a speech from Miss Shabazz. I got a speech. And then I got a lady coming in by the name of Molly some shit. All right, but in any event, Molly was a former attorney in the family courts, so she's going to be breaking down while the child support whole system is a scam. It's a business deal for the government. You know what I mean? She's gonna break that down. So stay tuned. Watch the movie. I'm about to say watch the movie to the end. You know what I mean? But watch the video to the end. All right, guys. But anyway, like I was saying, I need all of my guys, all of my free agents. Where's my free agents that watch me? I need all of y'all to go to this side of the room. I want y'all to go to that side of the class. All right, guys? All right. And now I need all my 29% women that do not have kids. If you don't have any kids, ladies, I need you to go to the next side of the room. All right, guys? I need y'all. Now, all of my folks that have kids, I need y'all to stay in y'all seats. All right? Stay in y'all seats. And this is how we gonna do this for today, because I need to separate the crowd. And pardon my lingo, guys. Pardon the fact that I'm slowing it down for this one. You know what I mean? Because I don't want anybody to lose me on this. You know what I mean? And it's sad that I can't put the biblical truth in the thumbnail, because then you guys won't click on it. You know what I mean? When I put basic instructions, Bible, anything, you guys don't click on it. But I got you today, guys, because today we're going to break it down to the molecule. I hope you got your textbooks with you guys, because today we want to talk about what does the Bible say about child support, you know what I mean? And we want to link, I tell you guys all the time, this shit is biblical, guys. If you wasn't so busy running from the word, and maybe you're not running from the word how I think you're running from the word. Maybe you just running from the word because you don't understand how to interpret it. You don't understand the context of it. But like I tell you guys, follow along, guys. Follow me, because I'm going to teach you how to read it. I mean, there's descriptive events. There's, you know what I mean, guys. I'm gonna break it down to the molecule, but that's a whole different video. Right now, we wanna talk about this child support thing, right? And I'll be lying if I told you there's anything in the Bible that could break down, you know what I mean, break down this child support shit. You have to, if you're reading the Bible, guys, if you put your thinking cap on, you gotta focus in on the fact that the patriarch is God, is biblical. The patriarch is you submit to God, the woman submit to you, and the kids follow the woman, guys. That's the patriarch. That's all of biblical. That's why the bitch Lilith not written in the Bible. That's why the bitch Lilith not written in the basic instructions, bro, because she defied the patriarch, guys. So when we talk about this patriarch joint, do know that it's not about black or white. It's not about black or white, or the white people made the patriarch. It's not about that, because, you know what I mean? God made the patriarch. Whatever your God is, he made it the patriarch, because that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you submit to him, and then the woman submit to you, and then the kids submit to the woman, all right? That's how he created it. So when it comes to this child support and this whole new modern way of living, and it's new, it's a new world. You know what I mean? Things change. When it comes to that, that's red flags, guys. We must not conform to that, guys. But there is a verse in the Bible, and those are the guys, those of you that know and studied the Bible and know the shit, like you say you know it. I mean, you guys know the verse that I'm about to tell you guys. And this verse explains the whole child support shit and this whole bullshit that go on. All right? But before we get to that verse, you know what I mean? I know I got a lot of ball eaters, you know what I mean? A lot of ball eaters. And truthfully, guys, I could do what it is, because 2 Timothy 3:16, all scriptures is breathed out by God and profitable for teaching, for reproofs, for correction, and for training in righteousness. All right, so now that we got through that, guys, let's get it. James 1:27. It says, religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself abstain from the world. All right, that is about the closest thing you're gonna get. You know what I mean? So he commands that a father see his child. You know what I mean? He commands that a father see his child. Throughout the whole basic instructions, guys, it's key that you understand how vital he knew the father was. All right, guys. So, you know what I mean? Without getting all biblical, because I know you guys, y'all like to complicate common sense, and y'all don't do reading. Y'all don't read the shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know what I mean? Y'all, you know what I mean? Yeah. So bitchified. Like, listen, guys, shit easy, guys. Real easy. All right. He talk about nothing but the father. The father is everything to the child. You know what I mean? The father is everything. And now, oh son, listen to me and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give her honor, your honor to others, and your years to the merciless, lest strangers take their fill of your strength, and your labors go to the house of a foreign. This verse right here, guys, you read it yourself, guys, because I never was good at reading out loud. Like I told you, I'm a C student at best that I get the higher A motherfuckers. I got A students working for me. Best believe that. You know what I mean? Best believe that. But you read this verse yourself. This verse right here is all of everything, guys. And I need you guys to heal so you stop being a fool. You know what I mean? A lot of guys is low. A lot of the views in the red pill community and in this whole manosphere is low right now. And it's low because everybody has already bashed the woman. Everybody has already demonized the woman. Everybody pointed out the fact that we got some stupid ass bitches in our environment today. The majority of them too, right? Everybody pointed that out already. So now everybody is working on the truth, which is self-improvement. Because don't nothing move unless you work on self. So now the fact that a lot of the dating coaches, your favorite dating coaches, you know what I mean? Guys that you never see with bitches or nothing, but they your favorite, no bash to them. But you know what I mean? Everybody is moving to this self-improvement joint. You know what I mean? So a lot of the guys is, because you guys want to vibrate on the same stupidity. You guys want to vibrate on the same vibration that the bitches we laugh at vibrate on. And honestly, to keep it real, to keep it all the way 100. And that's why everybody numbers is not as high as they used to be, because everybody's focusing on telling you guys to change the laws of your mind. Focus up, get healthy, pay attention. That verse right there is everything about paying attention, guys. We be knowing the bad bitches. We be knowing the bitches that's going to set us up, but we want to like them. We stay in them projects, bro. We know the Satan and the Lucifer loving women. We know them when we see them. They got all the bells and the whistles. Lilith and Jezebel come with all the bells and whistles. And we see them. We know them. We want them. Who taught you how to be stupid, yo? Honestly, guys. Who taught you how to be stupid, yo? I got a class full of people that know Lilith and Lucifer is trying to put the fix on. Don't we know that, class? Right. You know what I mean? So what the fuck? How y'all not know that? You get what I mean? Like, come on, guys. We got to wake the fuck up. We got to understand that this is a biblical war right here. This gender war is all biblical. It's us versus government zaddy Satan and Lilith, the bitch that ran off, the one that told us she ain't want to be submissive to us in the first place, guys. But we want her. We chase her, guys. Why? Why do we chase her, guys? We shouldn't chase her, guys. Y'all love her, though. Y'all love her. You know what I mean? Y'all overlook the good woman and y'all chase the Lilith. I don't understand that. Y'all like Lilith like that? You sure you don't like Lilith like that? All right then, so then what the fuck? Why y'all keep getting caught up? Why y'all keep getting caught up in a house? This is what he say. Let strangers take their fill. You let us take your whole strength. You let it take your strength, guys. We got to stop. But see, we running from God too. Like, we act like we scared of God. We act like we scared to read the instructions too, guys. This verse right here, guys, tell you what you need to know. Proverbs 5:7 through 10, guys. You read it. Y'all read it. Y'all gonna get this work today. Y'all read it. All right? This verse tell y'all stop going in them bitches' houses. Stop fucking with them bitches, man. Stop. We asked for it. We asked for this shit. We asked for this child support shit. We asked for it. Hand delivered. Because we being thirsty. We don't want to get on our purpose to the point where that we had a bitch so scared to take us to child support because she know what she gonna lose. You know what I mean? And this is the shit I don't understand. Pookie, y'all niggas, y'all detractors, y'all can sit the fuck down. Pookie, sit the fuck down for this one, Pookie. You sit all the way the fuck down. Because you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because the chick won't take you. If you a Pookie, matter of fact, where's my Pookies at in class, yo? Where's all my Pookies at? If you a Pookie and you know it and you ain't afraid to show it, stand up and y'all go sit over there. Y'all sit over there. Because y'all good bread. And get y'all popcorn, get y'all soda, kick y'all feet up. Because finally, it's a motherfucking video running through this bitch that ain't about y'all. Because y'all good as a motherfucker. Because the bitch won't take you. She won't take you. No, she won't. Nope. This video for my ones that want to be a father. This video for my ones that want their legacy. You know what I mean? That know what legacy mean. That want a kid. That want to motherfucking want to be in their kid life. You feel me? Know that they dad wasn't in their life, but that's not what they said because we all took a pact, right? What we all said when we was younger. We say, yo, we even said it for our moms, for this hell of a bitch that thinks she did something. We said, I'm not raising my kid like that, right? We all said that. Yeah, after an ass whipping, after a cool ass whipping, we all sat there and said, I ain't never raising my kid like that. If you ain't say that, you a fucking lie. And then we sit here and hide this fact that our mother, she did what she had to do. She put food on the table, she put clothes on our back, but she didn't raise us. She just didn't have the tools to raise us. But still, she want the praise. I don't understand this shit right here. I don't understand what's going on, guys. I don't understand what's going on. But let's move it along. Let's move it along. Whatever you wish that the others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. All right? Listen. I want y'all to leave that up there because I want you guys to read that yourself, yo. I want you guys to read that yourself. So whatever you wish that the others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. What that mean, class? What you think that mean, class? I think that mean to get bucky, class. What you think? No? They must be simps, yo. Because that mean to get bucky. That mean if she acts stupid, you act stupid. That's exactly what that mean, yo. All right? That's what that mean. All right? So that mean if she stop you from seeing your child, you stop seeing your child. Fuck wrong with you? Fuck you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? If she will not let you see your child, motherfucker, oh well. I don't have a child. What the fuck is hard about that, y'all? What the fuck is so hard about that, guys? It sound bad, right? It sound harsh, right? It do, right? You think they care? You think female nature care? You think female nature care about how you feel, sir, mister? It don't. It don't. At all. Never did. All right? Like I said, this is more verses right here from the scriptures, from the basic instructions that let you know how, you know what I mean? It's all about the masculinity and the structure that the man brings and the discipline that the man brings, guys. And I know you guys like, but well, yo, he going off from the title. I'm not going off from the title because I have to point out the fact. I have to point out how important and how specific in them instructions it is that the father be in the kid life, right? And then I want to show you how all of this worldly shit is geared towards removing the father out the picture. It's removing the whole father title, right? The father title is worth nothing in this worldly shit, guys. You know what I mean? And the women are okay with it. The women that you stick your PP in is okay with it. The women you stick your PP in and you give your provision to is cool with that. They sit there and be like, yeah, it's supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? Head wobble. Because they stupid looking anyway. Like, but this is who you choose to mess with, guys. My guys with no kids, y'all doing well. My free agents, stay free agents, guys. Stay free agents, y'all. Strap it up, guys, because it's sad, right? We have no rights. Our biggest right is to not do something. That's our biggest right as men. As men, our biggest right is to not do something. What kind of bullshit is that? A right is supposed to be a privilege. A privilege is supposed to allow you to do something. You know what I mean? How our biggest right and our greatest right is to not do something. Meanwhile, women have all the rights, bro. They have all the rights. And it's because God wanted it that way. Because God did not expect Lilith to come back in. He didn't expect Lilith to swerve her ass back. When she ran off to the Red Sea, you know what I mean? He expected that to be that. Once he made Eve, he wrote the other bitch out of the shit. And he expected it to be that. He expected it to be, because he knew Eve. Eve come from the rib. So that next shorty you get, that's why that second baby mother is kind of special. You cherish that second baby mother, bro. That one that dug you out the mud, that's the one you give that honor to. The one that those of you that know, y'all know. That second baby mother, wink, wink. That's the one that dug you out the mud, because you know how child support do. We gonna get to that. Because you see how it's connected. If the attack in the world is on masculinity, right? And the attack on the world wanna change boys to women, what's the quickest way to do that, right? Fuck with them financially. If you fuck with a person financially, you take their spirit. And it happens to women too, guys. I know a few women that got by bitch ass niggas that wanted to play the father role, and they didn't really want to be the father though. They just wanted to play the father role because they thought they had a dummy, And you know what I mean? You know, shit be like that. It's 80% of dummies out there. So, you know what I mean? But at any event, I know a couple of women that know that feeling too. And then they dress it and they create the narrative like if niggas don't want to pay child support. No, it ain't about niggas don't want to pay child support. You know what I mean? You, government saying, Zaddy, you tell us how to spend our money every month of the year except for August, B. And I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck you don't want us to do nothing in August with our money. You know what I mean? But you tell us what to do every month except August. Why the fuck I need you to tell me what to do weekly now, sir? Sir, government Satan Zaddy. We have to be aware of the fact that the government is Satan. The government is Satan Zaddy. And we deal with chicks, right? That'll look us in the face and be like, the white man, but the white man, and the white man did this, but the white man, and then turn around and accept some shit from the white man. How stupid is you, yo? This is why I don't even entertain no female talking this racism stupid shit. Cause you work with him, bitch. You his tag team partner. You is Lilith. Ho, stop playing with me. Like, and you see it in this whole child support scandal. It's government Zaddy Satan working with his tag team partner Lilith. And they drag us to the Red Sea, bro. And I see you when I see you, bro. 20 years of your life gone. You know what I mean? And we mad at the bitch. It's government saying Zaddy that's successful because at the end of the day, when you stop paying that child support, your shorty's still in the same predicament. Whether you find a way, whether you grow bitter and your heart grow to stone, which God say don't do, or you find a way and double the double, one thing's for sure, your shorty and your kid gonna still be in the same position, bro. So, how's that's not a scam? That he fooled her, Because at some point, he ain't gonna be able to fool you. I mean, this go for all of them. Just pay it. Just pay. Yeah, just pay it. There's nothing you can do. They hold us accountable. They hold us accountable for a sexual mistake. Because this how they play. They act like it'd be a mistake. Like, you act like, shit, you ain't want to sleep with me. You act like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, damn, the way the attack get is like, damn, you show up a nigga you wanted to sleep with? You know what I mean? So miss me with the bullshit, bro. Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the whole bullshit. You know what I mean? That's their tag team partner, guys. All right? If this was a basketball game, the big three and the big kahunas of the league, of the basketball league, will be the judge, your baby moms, and your mother, bro. Those are the big threes, bro. Because at the end of the day, your moms can't save you. Nobody can save you. You got to understand that government saying Zaddy, he have what I call 4 chambers of death, bro. He got 4 chambers of death. And I have the graph soon, you know what I mean? But one, guys, is the devil's playground. The devil's playground. Y'all know what the devil playground is, guys? Y'all could guess what the devil playground is? You know what I mean? If y'all could guess what the devil playground is, you know what I mean? I'll cash up y'all. Y'all probably don't think of it like this. Y'all got to elevate your mind. And I hope y'all put your beliefs in the locker like I asked y'all. You know what I mean? Guys on the playback, put your beliefs in the locker, yo. Go put that old shit that you done, whoever told you whatever, because everybody talking shit, but they ain't talking shit. They ain't talking nothing. They ain't saying nothing. A single word, all right? A single word. The devil got a playground, and it's Hollywood, guys. That's his playground. His playground is Hollywood. It's all his puppets. You know what I mean? Government saying that. All his puppets is in Hollywood. That's where he pushes agenda, and he get people to act like them stars and fuck their life up, running after chasing them stars. You know what I mean? Keeping up with the Kardashians. You know what I mean? Salute to the chat, guys. I'm in the zone. Just give me a second. When I get in this zone, I just gotta follow the Holy Ghost with it. You know what I mean? That's all I am in right now. I'm not no leader. I'm not nothing right now but a prophet that is gonna be a messenger and give y'all these messages. So I'm in the Holy Ghost right now. I want to show so much love to everybody that's tuned in, but it's gonna throw me off. So just let me get a chance right quick, y'all. I'm a real one, not like one of these bum ass niggas that be on here, you know what I mean, want to argue all day, want to go back and forth, want to, you know what I mean, you come show love, niggas want to cut you off, and, you know what I mean, like, niggas be really playing this character role shit, like, they really playing it, and that shit be pissing me off, though, and that's another thing, I will not, from this point on, I will no longer be on nobody's panel, nobody's live, if it's not my niggas, if it's not my couch gang nigga himself, Mr. Palmer, Anthony Spade, I will not be on nobody's panel, yo. I'm not going there. Because these niggas is frauds, yo, and they all fake, bro. I don't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? I'm the real deal, and I ain't got time for that shit. I do not want to be associated with any of that at all. You know what I mean? At all. My goal, my own purpose is to get my young generation cool with reading them instructions, because them instructions get them right. Those instructions got me right. Those instructions got me being the only alpha male out of a lot of motherfuckers I know. Because a lot of motherfuckers on the internet that ain't real alpha males. They can be whatever the fuck they want. They can put HV in front of whatever they want. They can be high value, whatever. How my nigga Mr. Palmer said, niggas be high value simps, bips, pimps, whatever. But they not me, and they not alpha. And it's not a lot of alphas running around here, and I see that. You know what I mean? But let me get back to the point, because we ain't gonna get on the rant. Share this video, y'all. Share this video. And those of you that's tuned in from Facebook, bring your ass on over to the YouTube channel, you know what I mean? I'm gonna cut that before we get into the main event, which is my lawyer, Molly. Molly gonna break down why this shit is all false, so y'all can't. All my women detractors, I know y'all, he in his feelings. Yeah. When Molly get on your ass, and y'all get it from the woman's perspective, she gonna be in her feelings too. All right? But check it. Devil got the playground, that's Hollywood. The devil also got a workshop, guys. The devil got a workshop where he built his robots and he built his sheep. You know what I mean? The devil workshop is the schools. The board of education is the devil workshop. Remember, all of these shits is connected. This is why when your name pop up, when your social pop up, all of these shits is connected. You know what I mean? So the devil got it. You know what I mean? The devil just as strengthful, he's just as powerful as God. You know what I mean? This is why that's the war. It's either you're on this side with the bullshit or you on this side. You gotta pick a side. That's the only time you will see Mr. Goodbrad, Abraham, pick a side. Other than that, I ain't picking a side. But that's what it is, guys. You know what I mean? But the devil got his playground, which is Hollywood. He got his workshop, which is school. And he got his fun house, which is them churches. You know what I mean? That's his fun house. The devil's fun house is them churches, bro. He have a great old time in there, tricking people and getting people to stay poor and in this poverty state. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. You know what I mean? If you notice how they sprinkle a little bit, all of these systems that I'm about to mention, they give you a little bit of the truth, just enough to keep you coming back and needing them, and then they charge you for it. Think about it. Hollywood, y'all spend a bunch of money on entertainment every year, all year long. Hell of a lot of money on entertainment. School, shit. School don't even teach you. Then they turn around and charge you for not teaching you. They got a lot of people coming up out that motherfucker in debt, poverty. Right? You peep the connection. Church. I ain't even gonna. I already told y'all about that shit. I'll be end up doing another video on that shit. But we already know about the church, right? And last but not least, guys, his backyard. The devil got a backyard. He got a big old house, so he gotta have a backyard, right? Yeah, his backyard is the system, guys. It's the court system. You know what I mean? Family court. That's his backyard. Big old backyard. That pool got red water in it, guys. That's the Red Sea. You know what I mean? That's where Lilith ran her ass off to. That's where her and Satan met up and planned for her to go back to that garden and fuck up what was going on, guys. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Remember, guys, take all that dumb shit that you've been brought up to believe. That shit should be in the locker room. So I don't want to hear that. Miss me with that. But all right, guys, before we get into Miss Shabazz, let me take attendance. You know what I mean? Sure, it's late. This is like 40 minutes in. I'm taking attendance. All right, y'all. Let's see what's in the chat, y'all. Okay, Izzy. Okay, Izzy is in the house. We already know that's the bro. That's my bro. Y'all go check out OK L's channel, man. Y'all go subscribe to the OK. Y'all already know how he do. He break it down to the molecule. He's great on the commentary and them interviews, B. I ain't gonna front, man. And y'all know, check him out every Monday on my channel. Every Monday he gonna be over here, and we gonna be messing with the girls. We gonna be fucking with the women, guys. Don't forget to tune in this Monday, guys. We got the who cheat the most, men or women. That's gonna be the topic this week. We gonna get it in with the girls. We gonna see who cheat the most. You know what I mean? Okay, Izzy said, make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. Definitely. Lit. Hey, what's up, OKL? Okay, just come on. Salute to you. Brose and Broski Show. You guys, there's a link all the way at the top of the chat. Click that link. If you like music, hip hop, and shit like that, that's my other show on Sundays with my brose. You know what I mean? That's my guy. You know what I mean? So we gonna be over there, and it's only music. It's Red Pill music. You know what I mean? For the most part, but we don't do what we do over here, guys. And also, guys, those of you that's tuned in for the Red Pill and for what we do over here, I'm gonna stream one time on Sunday over here. So if you're not with the music and stuff, don't unsubscribe. It's not gonna be a regular thing. I'm just tuning in over here for those of you that wanna get access to it. Y'all be able to get access to it that day and that day only. And then I won't do that again. You know what I mean, guys? So stay with me. Stay tuned. All right? Yes, sir. You already get it. CMTV in the house. Mustard was about to say it's lit. You know what I mean? Okay, Izzy. Okay. What's up, bro? Indignious Nick. What's up, my guy? We got my boy Pan-African. Where you been at, man? What's up, my guy? What's more concerning, the message or the messenger? Benefactor or unserving receipts? Right, entitlement at best. Right. Get them likes up, guys. Patriarch is the community. Without instructions, directions, leadership, there will be no legacy. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Without the patriarch, there wouldn't even be anything called feminism. Facts. LOL. No us without me, patriarch, the pillar of community. That's a fact. Pardon me, guys. And that's good. Laugh. Keep veins cold. Stand back and stay ready. Facts. We got facts. One Wigged, what's up? One Wigged, how you been, man? We gotta get you on the honor roll, man. We're gonna have to get you on the honor roll soon. Word. The good father is a gift for women, but obligation to the child. Patriarch priorities. Yo, we got my guy, Prediction Ascension, podcast in the house. You guys go check him out too, man. You guys go subscribe to him. He be having some shit, yo. He be having some shit live, direct. You know what I mean? Son is a beast with it, yo. My guy, Andre Golden. I already know what it is, my guy. A Gold from Facebook. You know what I mean? Democracy is the biggest miss. All right, you on it. You be on your shit right here. He be on his shit, man. He be on his shit, definitely. You know what I mean? Why did King James commission the writing of Holy Bible that he might better rule the lives of his people, government controlled of patriarch. That's questionable. Supreme 10, what's up, man? What's up? Hey, man, word. Follow the money all the time, my guys. Follow the money. Always follow the money, guys. Salute to the chat. We're in the building, y'all. You already know Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Simple. Now, I don't know who taught them how to be a fool, but I'm reading that shit all day. If listen, what the fuck? We gotta put some booty on there. We gotta put some booty on the Bible. You know what? That's what I gotta do. That's what y'all want me to do, because I'm not into writing books. I'm not the one that'll write books. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised I do this shit. You know what I mean? Because I know my speech is not the best. I'm not gonna hit you with big words. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be relatable. You gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Honestly, guys, but y'all might want me to do a Bible cover. Maybe I put some girls on the cover, or maybe I just redo the Bible. Maybe I'll redo the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Y'all want me to do that, class? I think I might have to do that, yo. Man, y'all lying. Y'all niggas be lying to me. Y'all be gassing me, yo. Which one is it? Should I do it or should I not? All right, so then I'm gonna fuck around and try to say something. I'm gonna hit my man, Mr. Approach, get some artwork, and see what we gonna do. We gonna see what we could do. You know what I mean? Word. But all right, guys. All right, we got a nice class. We got a full class in here tonight. Yo. Guys, yo, remember, guys, y'all hang out. Those of you that got the kids, yo. Those of you that already got kids, y'all hang out. Yeah, hang out for a second. All right, let's get it, y'all. First video we got up for class. Y'all already know the Honorable Miss Shabazz. If y'all ain't see this video already, shame on y'all. But the Shabazz video, that is. Hold on 1 second. Where we at? Go.
For the simple reason, the impression I got from the book is this. She did not say it's all black women's fault, because you got a lot of bad black men. It's just that a lot of black women think that they're infallible, they're perfect, and that's not the case at all. I'm sure because, and the thing about it, never notice it's only decent black men that face this kind of treatment from bad black women.
How can so many black women be hurt by this book, be so enraged over it, and there's no truth in it? If there's no truth, why are you so enraged? If you're not in it, you don't know nobody in it, what's all the excitement? If you write me a book and say, I saw a man with 4 heads walking down the street, hey, that don't apply to nothing I know about. I don't even pick up the book. But now if it's a truth and it's touching you, and maybe it's uncovering you, or maybe it's giving your old man a chance to peep at you, then maybe you want to close that mouth up. Seem like to me the ones who's complaining are the most out of control women I have ever seen. And they say they're not out of control. You watch them watch how they act this sister. I mean, some of them are sitting there great big when they sit right next to her like, well, I don't agree with you. Boy, like they ready, like somebody set them up there to jump on the sister. They did. Now, why would you do things like that if it's not true? You're showing you out of control. You're showing you're just like she described from page 1. The ones like that's from page 1 through the whole book.
I don't discuss my personal life a lot because of this project is so controversial. And I know that people are looking for ways to try to criticize me because they think that as a result of writing the Black Man's Guide to Understanding Black Women, that I'm trying to set myself.
And look at here, when you think that you could criticize these messengers and you think you can criticize these messengers, you's a whole fool, because it's nothing you could say about me that's going to change the truth about you. what got you triggered and what got you able to say something about me and try to break me down is the whole reason why you losing, because you're triggered and you're mad. And instead of fixing what got you mad, you would rather react and spend all that energy trying to hurt my heart. You're a fool.
Self up as being the perfect model, and that I'm telling everyone, well, I have it all straightened out. You should listen to me. I wouldn't have any reason to come out here and go through this kind of abuse and attack that I have to go through in order to try to reunite the black man and the black woman in America based on somebody else's appeal or suggestion or anything else. See, this is a painful process, but the digestive process is threefold. You have to first take the medicine in. You have to swallow it and let the nutrients go throughout the system, and then you have to have elimination. So we're in the process of eliminations, and my lectures are a major success because we address those things. We get that pain out, and we deal with the fact that our man has been hurting. Certainly we are hurting, and we're all in pain, but we have to come back together on that issue and try to work it out. I don't like the picture in the book. It's an ugly picture, but we have an ugly problem that we have been turned into as a result of living here in white America. Many of us do not have knowledge or information and education that can benefit the larger community. What I'm saying is that we have mixed up our priorities. We cannot go out.
And she right, yeah. We got to stop acting like we know everything just because we saw a piece of information. You know what I mean? Somebody posted a piece of information. We got to stop taking in these ideas and turning them shits into stone cold facts. And they not stone cold facts. Like, come on, guys.
Outside the home and correct it until we correct the problems we have inside the home. So our being out of control is that we have refused to allow and accept the black man to give us any direction on anything we're doing. Just like the black man's failure and his impotence to function in this society, that's not innate. This is something that has been bred into us since we have come to this country. What we need to do now is to recognize, where we are, and for us sisters, not to fight.
And the sad thing is, right, chicks will be bucking at me like, oh, just shut up and pay child support. And they'll have a whole little son. And that's crazy. Like, this is why niggas is broke. Because, mom, what you think gonna happen? She don't care because she never takes the blunt of the stick. She never take the brunt. She never take the blow. You know what I mean? Because her son gonna pay child support. Oh, yeah, her son gonna pay child support. Guaranteed. It's just the name of the game. It's just the generational curse that happens. So, you know what I mean? And this is why it's poverty. All you see is poverty. All you see is people struggling and trying to survive. And then they try to normalize the shit. Like, that's okay. That's normal. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow because we definitely going to have a test on this. We're going to have a test on the rules of poverty, guys. I want to make sure you guys not okay with poverty. I want to make sure you guys not okay with being broke. Not okay with being a dusty, just being entertained all fucking day. All right?
Me, if you are not guilty of the things that I charge in my book, I need you to get on my side and to help me raise these other sisters. That message remains the same, and it's a problem that we need to solve, and I don't back down off of the truth. A family is like a nation, and in every nation, you must have one head of the government that the rest of the people in that nation cooperate with in order to be successful, and if not, you have anarchy, and that's what we have now in our black homes because the man has been displaced, and we have devalued the importance of the black man in the home in order to save the black family. It can't be done with just black women and us being pumped up to think that we are the strongest, and we are strong.
The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. The #1 bestseller of 1990 is the most talked about, the most popular, and the most written about book Black America has ever seen. Newspapers across the country had a field day. Every editor, every publication, and every writer eagerly sunk their teeth into the meatiest topic they had ever encountered: personal relationship problems of black men and black women. The Black Man's Guide is discussed from the pulpit, debated in seminars, examined in college, and argued about on street corners. Never in African American history has a document surfaced that forces every black person to look outward and inward. Reactions run the gamut from praise and gratitude to hostility and outrage. The educated bulk at its lack of scholarship and standard documentation, while the general masses of the people say they are grateful for its straight talk and uncomplicated descriptions of what slavery has done to Black women in America. Whatever the reaction, whatever the opinion, it is clear to every Negro, Black, or African American that Shahrazad Ali is the Black man's new champion. This woman is on a mission. Her strength, her guts, and her unstoppable energy to single-handedly defend and uplift Black men has never been witnessed before on this continent. Black men report that the book has re-energized them to become better husbands and fathers, and has given them a new sense of worth and brotherhood with each other.
All right, guys, I had to throw that on. That was our warm-up video right there. The Honorable Miss Shabazz, y'all already knows, always inspirational when she speak. You know what I mean? Because she know what time is it. She know exactly what time is it, guys. So, you know what I mean? Again, guys, I just want to touch on, because I see salute to, what's his name again? Salute to A Butter for the $30 cash app. You know what I mean? And he said for me to keep going on the Bible verses. Do I got more Bible verses on child support? See what I mean, guys? That's the shit that I like to hear, B. I like that. I like questions like that. When you come at me like that. Come at me correct. And I do. I got them loaded up, too. See, we like that shit over here. We like that. You know what I mean? But hell yeah, I got some shit. I got more shit, man. Where we at? We went over that one. This is important right here. This lets you know how important the father is. This lets you know how important the father is, guys. Proverbs 17:6. Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of children is their fathers. All right? You know what I mean, guys? You got to understand how important you is. And this don't mean you go break your neck. If she alienating you, then you wash your hands and be done. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Take care. You're going to have to pay your joint, though. You're going to have to pay your bills. You're going to have to pay the bill. You're going to have to pay the cost to be the boss. You're going to have to pay that nut. You're going to have to pay that nut. You know what I mean? You're going to have to pay that nut. You know what I mean? Listen, guys. This is more verses right here. Discipline your son, for there is hope. This right here is for the family right here. So this, since the women don't want the guys near the kid because they protecting them, you know, they always with this protecting them shit. I don't know who they protecting them from. They need to protect them from them. You know what I mean? But it says, discipline your son, for there is hope. Do not set your heart on putting him to death. And best believe that 71 to 80% of these bitches out here done removed this dad from the scene, or the dad done removed himself, and now they refuse to get themselves, work on themselves, and get a man, and they don't need a man now. They take this I don't need a man joint. Best believe they sit there and buy the kid everything that they want. This is that shit right here. He's warning them for now. He's warning them. They're putting their kid to death without the dad. Look at Psalms 103:13, guys. As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. You know what I mean? So that's how real it is. Like the same way you know how it is. And they know that our weakness is our seed, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't get me wrong. We had a whole era of men. We had a whole era of men that was sucky. That's why I don't listen to them old school niggas. And don't be listening to that if she have a father shit, guys. It don't matter if she have a father, guys. She still take your ass to child support, bro. She'll still take your ass to child support. You gotta understand the fathers of that era. The fathers of that era were simps, bro. All them old niggas is simps, bro. I wouldn't take advice from any one of them niggas, yo. Is you crazy? Do you see any one of them niggas running around here telling you, yo, young man, you should get married. Marriage is the best thing that ever happened to me. No. You know why? Because them niggas is all miserable in that marriage, sitting there playing a part. Fuck I look like, yo. You know what I mean? Guys, you gotta understand. Nobody got you but God, yo. Nobody got you but your creator, bro, in this war right here. Nobody got you. And you can't be worrying about shit. You can't be worrying about shit. You gotta wash your hands and be done. You gotta be direct and exact. You gotta know what you want to do. Guys, I tell you no lie, guys. I sit up here and be lying if I told you my baby moms took me to child support. None of my baby mothers took me to child support, including Miss Goobread. I took myself, bro. I took myself. And you can't do that in New York City. So I just did some fuck shit to get her to take me. You know what I mean? Because honestly, there is no such thing as perfect parents, right? But in America, old sweet America, for some real reason, they make the pops feel extra dumb. They make the pops feel extra like a piece of shit because the word father, the title father, is the exact opposite of the title mother. Now, ain't that some shit? But we fight for equality. The argument is we gotta be equal. We want to be equal. We are all equal, which is false. You know what I mean? Because God will tell you that in a house of many articles, some are clay and wood, and some are silver and gold. So if God tell you that shit ain't equal, how the fuck you keep trying to push this equal shit down my neck? Like, we not equal, but we know what you're trying to do. We know what you're trying to do. You trying to make it equal by killing masculinity. And that's what child support do, guys. Bingo. Child support is tag team. The tag team of the year now. Remember, government zaddy Satan and yo bitch Lilith. That's they weapon of mass destruction, guys. That's their weapon of mass destruction. And the Lilith, she don't see how she really don't benefit. She don't see how she only taking the temporary now and damaging later. Because in the later, Lucifer don't care. Lucifer gonna throw the bitch back, throw the bitch back in the sea anyway, and go on to the next youngin that he could fuck with. Cause that's all Lilith, that's all government Satan's that he do. All he do is use Lilith. All he do is use the woman that you decide to stick your D in. He used them. You know what I mean? So that's why the moral of the story and the common denominator is stop picking government Satan zaddy loving bitches. If you stop picking them government, and you know how you know she a government Satan zaddy loving bitch? If she fuck with government Satan zaddy shit. If she fuck with his entitlement programs, like the projects, like the food stamps, like that bullshit, then she like government Satan zaddy, bro. Clear. Fuck is wrong with you? And don't get it twisted, guys. Is she a lawyer? She a doctor? She all that? She worked for government Satan zaddy. So she fucked with government Satan zaddy, guys. These are red flags, bro. What happened? This is why them normal 9-to-5 McDonald's chicks, the humble 9-to-5 McDonald's chicks, the chick that ain't breaking her neck trying to be CEO of the company, this is why she living. This is why she know how to keep a man. You know what I mean? Guys, we looking for the wrong thing. We looking for the wrong thing. We will never find the virtuous woman if we thinking like the virtuous woman, guys. If we looking for excitement. Remember, the virtuous woman looking for alpha male. That woman looking for alpha male. She looking for a nigga that's different. All the way different. But if you sitting here chasing 71% women, you just like everybody else. How different is you? You know what I mean? You had to make yourself an Ephesian 5 man, which is an alpha male. You know what I mean? You have to. But that's besides the point. And that's a whole nother video. We talking about child support right now. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to mention that to let you know how deep it get when you enter them instructions, when you read them instructions, and when you know. You know what I mean? Like I always tell you guys, you don't have to. You could just follow me. You could just hit the subscribe button. While you at it, hit the like button and just follow me and trust that I got you, bro. I am I'm something else, bro. Something else, bro. And I'm proud of it because you know what I learned? Criticism, embarrassment. Those are all the cost of winning. Pay those and see how much you win. Fuck what these people talking about. Fuck what these other sheep is talking about, bro. Pay that. Pay that. This is why when it comes to this child support, you gotta go. You're gonna have to endure you're gonna have to be able to take being called the deadbeat because they stick the deadbeat label on you, bro. Because you don't want to be controlled. You know what I mean? Again, guys, I'm talking to my niggas that want legacies. I'm not talking to my niggas that don't give a fuck. You niggas sit over there and eat your popcorn and stuff your face and enjoy the entertainment. Because y'all don't get taken to child support. They will never take y'all. They love y'all to death. Because y'all have no W-2, y'all have no income, so they don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all good. I'm talking to my niggas who had good or whack parents, whatever you had, because we fuck both ways. Let's keep it a buck. Niggas be on here with these stupid ass ideologies, bro. You fucked either way. If you had a moms and dad, then guess what? You're gonna go off in the world looking for that, what you saw your moms and dad have, and bad women. And you're gonna try to force that shit with bad women. And if you didn't have a mom and dad, and you just had a hell of a mother, guess what? You're gonna be addicted to them bitches anyway, because they remind you of your hell of a mother. They do everything. These is Rambo bitches. These is Robo bitches. Like your mother. The woman we praise, because that's why we praise her, right? We praise her because she's a Robo bitch. She do everything. She did everything. She taught us how to be a man. She taught us how to be a girl, a man, everything. A great citizen. She did everything. Nobody else did nothing. Right? I mean, that's how we praise her. And shit on our dad. Because I wouldn't have a problem with it if we praise our moms like that and praise our dad like that. Like, we don't give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't give our dad the benefit of the doubt. Because at some point, like, when you gonna go looking for your dad? Like, I mean, you know why you can't do that though? You can't do that though because you'll be considered a runaway slave, young shorty. Now I'm talking to my little ones. Now I gotta talk to my little class. And this is sad, yo, because they always talk about it's the best interest of y'all. They always talk about it's in the best interest of the child, right? That's what they talk about. It's in the best interest of the child. But the child never say nothing. The child never get a chance to say nothing. Miss me with the bullshit, yo. Who's stupid, yo? I don't know who taught them how to be stupid, but I ain't never been no dummy. Never. I don't give a fuck who it's for. You ain't never gonna play me as no dummy. You feel me? It's not for the best interest of the child. It's for the best interest of whatever the mother like, whatever the mother feel. There we go with this feeling shit again. I mean, this feeling shit. That's what it's for, guys. And in stroking the mother's feelings, government saying Zaddy take a percentage. Every child support case that's formed, government Satan Zaddy get a percentage off of that case. So don't think you in them courthouses having friends with a lawyer. Don't think her mother is your friend. Don't think her father is your friend. Don't think her lawyer is your friend. None of them is your friend, bro. This is why it's important to not shoot the club up in the wrong female, guys. I tell you this. It's not, because once you get caught in any four of them chambers, remember the 4 chambers, when you get caught up in any 4 of them chambers, you doomed for failure. Them 4 chambers is designed to have you fail. You know what I mean? Again, that's his playground, his workshop, his fun house, and his backyard, guys. That's the Hollywood, that's that school, that's that church, and that's that court system, bro. Family court, to be specific. And we know how the other court system do you, but he catch y'all through the music. He catch y'all through the music and through the entertainment, and he catch our men. Remember, guys, the school controls the children, the church controls the women, and the prisons control the men. Don't get caught in the trap. Now that you know, you know. You know what I mean? But hold on, we did have one more verse. I see that. We did have one more verse. And my guy, he said, right? Where we at? Palms, guys. I have been young and now I'm old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or has children begging for bread. That's a fact. You know what that means, guys? That's deep right there. That's Psalms 37 to 25. I have been young and now I'm old, yet I have not seen the righteous. He ain't seen nobody that ever believed in him have a starving child, bro. And my little man eating. My little man gonna be good. And when he say eating, begging for food and shit, it could be knowledge, it could be all of that. Because that's what a nigga provide for the child. That's what a father in a little boy life provide for his child. And he's telling you in his words right there. Let me pull that up again so you guys don't complicate common sense. I have been young and now I'm old. So this is how long he has been around. You see that? That's the time right there. This is how you read the Bible. It's the time. First they give you the time. And this is what you call a descriptive message, guys. A descriptive message. He's describing something. Because you know your pastor should be able to teach you this or how to read the Bible, but they won't, because they want you to need them so they can charge you. But this is a descriptive. See, people mix up descriptive events and prophecies and commands, and they mix it up. I mean, not everything is him telling you that's what's going to happen. Not everything is a guarantee. Not everything is a promise. You know what I mean? But this is a descriptive event. That's how long he's been here. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. You know what I mean? Once you know, and you good, bro. Once you know, and you good. And it ain't nothing about corny. I ain't corny. I'm still lit. I still do what the fuck I want. Wake up, do what the fuck I want, bro. Right. What y'all feel about that, class? How y'all feel about that, man? Cause y'all sitting here just in amaze and shit. How y'all feel about that, class? All right, so then we rocking. It's on and popping. We rocking. You know what I mean? I told you this was a good one right here. Grandchildren are the crown of the age. You know what I mean? So they at the head. They at the head. Let it go. Let it go. Get up out. If you old, get up off that social media and let the grandchild take their place. All right, grandma terrorist, let the grandchild take its place. Grandchildren are the crown of the age. It's over, spoil you milk. And the glory of children is their father. Look, that's how important the father is. And the child support, all it do, it attack men's masculinity. It weakens the man. How you weaken a man? You fuck with his money. That's how you weaken the man. You know what I mean? And it only attacks the man that has money, the man that can build. Now, it don't attack the man that don't have money. You know what I mean? That's what don't make sense. Child support is child support. You know what I mean? It should not just be based on who provides and who doesn't. Provision is more than money. That's the funny shit, guys, because we have these chicks really money grabbing, and the best interest of the child is to have both parents, which means the best interest of the child is to have two energies, the masculine energy and also the feminine energy, guys. That's the best interest of the child, is to be raised by this. That's the best interest of the child. You know what I mean? Now, if you remove one or the other, it's going to throw it off balance. But statistically, we have seen that the dad busts out. The dad can do his thing. Statistically, it shows that when the kid is with his father, they're more productive in our society. And those are just the facts, guys. I don't make that up. I can't make that up. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. That's the facts. You know what I mean? You guys can look it up too on your own. Don't just take my word for it. You know what I mean? Definitely want to look that up. You know what I mean? But guys, we're going to go into the main event. And when I tell you guys, I'm gonna chime in every now and then, but I'm not gonna do too much talking. I'm gonna let her break it down to the molecule, guys. Those of you that what I was about to say, those of you that might have seen this before, then y'all just see it again and take notes. You know what I mean? Take notes this time. Make sure you don't fall into the trap. Make sure you don't fall into the game plan, because it's definitely a game plan, guys. All right, guys. Hold on, let's see. Before we get to the main event, let's see what the chat say. You might have some questions or something. What's up, bro? What's up, yo? Igneous Nick, what's up, my guy? How you doing, man? You already know, man. Much love, yo. Got a great class tonight, man. What's more concerning? Oh, right, we read that one already. Get them likes up, guys. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Without the patriarch, there wouldn't even be anything called feminism. That's a fact. Oh, shit, what I did, we read that then. We read all that. My guy, Keon, Mr. Keon, you are in the house tonight. That's what's up, Mr. Keon. You on the honor roll too, man. Word. I don't know if you know that. Supreme 10, yo, salute, man. You know, I'm just trying to bring a different vibe because everybody just sound the same and it just get lame after a while. Like, and it ain't factual, like shit all propaganda, like the fuck going on in this world. Like, but again, guys, remember, I ain't your competition, so I can keep it real. Know what I mean? Yo, Proverbs is real. Proverbs is real. Proverbs get in the woman ass. They stay away from Proverbs at the church because there's so many women in the churches. So they stay away from Proverbs. But Proverbs get in the woman ass. I love Proverbs too, man. I love Proverbs too. In fact, since you said that, Brother Supreme 10, since you said that, yo, you already know, man. Listen, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back from the break, guys, we're going to get straight into this lawyer breaking down why child support is a whole scam, bamboozle. You know what I mean? But first, let's look at this break, guys. And salute to my guy, Supreme 10, for the request.
My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend, to keep you from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words. For at the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple. I have perceived among the youths a young man lacking sense, passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house in the twilight of the evening, at the time of night and darkness. And behold, the woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute, wily at heart. She is loud and wayward, her feet do not stay at home. Now in the street, now in the market, and at every corner she lies in wait. She seizes him and kisses him, and with bold face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows. So now I have come out to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. I have spread my couch with coverings, colored linens from Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love till morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. At full moon he will come home. With much seductive speech, she persuades him. With her smooth talk, she compels him. All at once, he follows her. As an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a stag is caught fast till an arrow pierces its liver, as a bird rushes into a snare, he does not know that it will cost him his life. And now, O sons, listen to me and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for many a victim has she laid low, and all her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death.
They don't kick it like that because they ain't really Abraham. I told you guys, I am Abraham, guys. I see it. I see it. I hear it. I get it different. I get the messages different, and I could deliver it realer. I'm sorry. They gonna hate me, yo. They gonna hate me for this one, Rum Nitty. Word, salute to my guy Rum Nitty, B. He must be busy right now, man. But I know he gonna tune in, and I know he gonna show the love, B. Guys, share this video on your social media platforms. All men need to hear this. Ladies that got sons, just because you don't got a man and you feel that I'm real disrespectful and wherever, however you feel, fuck your feelings. Get your son to this information. Get your teenage son to this information. Get him to this video. Get him to my channel. Tuck your feelings, tuck your pride, tuck your ego. Don't be Lucifer. That was his downfall. All right? That's every man's downfall. Pride and ego. That's why we losing, guys. All right? Pride and ego. Can't nobody tell us nothing. Can't nobody teach us nothing. We know everything. Oh, but why? Look at his thing. Look at his hair. Look at his thing. Look at the back. Look at why he always got that thing in the back. Y'all always worried about everything other than fixing yourself, other than the work that it's gonna take to fix yourself. Fuck is wrong with that? Like, class, how y'all feel about that dumb shit, yo? They do it all the time. It's incredible, yo. But let's go on and get to this motherfucking this video right now, man. I'm just hyped. I was hyped to do this. Salute to the chat, yo. Shots on me. Shots is on the house, guy. We got the Henny in the house. Henny God. You know what I mean? It's Hennessy Friday. You know what I mean? Y'all already know what it is. You know what I mean? It's good living over here. Good eating, good living. I just wish everybody get an opportunity to become an alpha, become the best version of themselves they could be. Word. Remember, guys, ugly is a mindset, and you the prize. If you the man, you the prize. Automatically. What happened? Let's get it.
The following presentation explains a huge problem concerning an out-of-control federal government welfare program called child support. This presentation will provide a simple solution to that problem. Child support has grown like a cancer in every state across the United States, now doing the opposite of its intended purpose. It was designed to reduce the cost of welfare paid by the government to single moms when the fathers were absent and not involved, but is now increasing costs dramatically. It also claims to help children, but in reality, the federal and state child support bureaucracies have become harmful to children, primarily using this program to undermine the father-child relationship. The child support problem is so...
You see, that's the key right there. That's the key underlying method right there. That's how you get the women in control, but that's how you get the government in control of the men through the women, because the women is getting this false sense of power. You know what I mean? The women are power tripping right now. You know what I mean, guys? You stay away from the power tripping women. Those women are bugging. They're bugging the fuck out. You know what I mean?
out of control. It is begging for a solution, and I have a great solution. This video describes 1, the history and evolution of the federal child support program. 2, why it is referred to as Title 4D. 3, how this program impacts state child support laws and policies. 4, the congressional purpose of the 4D program, explaining why child support is not for children and never was intended for children. 5, how the program has expanded far beyond congressional intent. 4D services were never meant for involved fathers who willingly provide the basic needs for their children. 6, the problems that arise with this 4D child support program on both a federal and state level. It is the only welfare program with no income eligibility standards. Because of this, anyone and everyone who applies is granted the whole range of collection services. This has become incredibly harmful to children and an enormous waste and abuse of taxpayer money. 7, to conclude, I explain an easy solution as a first step by creating income eligibility standards for government child support services where none exist today. While this presentation was given in 2005, it is still completely relevant today. I encourage you to watch the entire 1-hour presentation to educate yourself about the basics of this program. This is information the Child Support Agency will never tell you, but you need to know if you want to be part of any meaningful reform.
Today's topic is Title 4D Welfare Services. I'm going to answer 2 questions in the next hour and a half. And those questions are, first of all, does the federal government allow the state to initiate reform and clarify eligibility standards for Title 4D welfare services? The second question, will state legislators be assured the state won't lose the entire federal funding for 4A and 4D as the state DHS alleges? As we go through those 2 questions, first, the first question, I will review the outline listed here. We'll review family law versus welfare law, public rights versus private rights, the history and purpose of 4D as it is in the Social Security Act, the limitations of Title 4, Title 4D amendments, the unauthorized expansion of the 4D program, outcomes that produces regarding process and fiscal outcomes, and then we'll talk about the constitutional violations created as a result of that overreach. The second question I'll review and outline that will answer and describe for you the CPR solution.
Salute to my brother, Red Pill Awareness. We got the class clown in the building tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, yo. Yo, I'm gonna drop the link because I know you got some mad information, yo. You know, you is a very informative dude, yo. So that's what's up.
What the DHS claims, what the misrepresentative federal penalties are, what they look like, the positive impact that change and reform would have on government budgets, and also hopefully we'll have some time to discuss some fiscally responsible decisions that we can work with together. I want to begin with a disclaimer and make sure that you know that I am not an attorney and nothing I say today should be in any way, shape, or form considered legal advice. Though we have run through all of our information by our advisory board attorneys, several people who were able to work with and give us that legal input. I have also received information from 3 judges, 2 retired district court judges in Minnesota, 1 retired appeals court judge in Minnesota that believes that our information is accurate. And we continue to expand that base of interested judges and lawyers, although I found that retired judges are more willing to talk to us. The first question, does the federal government allow the state to initiate reform and clarify eligibility standards for 4D welfare services? The first subject in that area is family law versus welfare law. At the legislature, you've heard a smorgasbord of family law issues. There's child support legislation that Senator Neville has done an incredible job working with, which mostly focuses on the guidelines, whether it's a net income, income shares, cost shares, whatever it is. Then there's been legislation on joint physical custody. There's been legislation repeatedly year after moveaways, and really many other family law related issues, things as like OFPs, parenting plans, imputed income, a host of different topics that affect family law or that are part of family law. And last but not least on this list, of course, is Title 4D welfare reform. And I put this slide up here on purpose to show you that Title 4D welfare reform is different. It's something separate from all of these other issues. So it does not need to be in conflict or worrisome with any of the other legislation that we do also get involved in. I want to begin by saying also that we at CPR believe that both parents have an equal duty to support their children. And nothing that we are promoting or nothing that we are suggesting in Title 4D reform will at all impact that philosophy that both parents do have an equal duty to support their children. Title 4D is the child support enforcement and collection program put together by the federal government. So it's a federal program that's state supervised and county implemented. You're familiar with those kinds of programs. The Title 4D welfare program causes some problems or causes some myths. It's based on some presumptions that carry through the whole implementation of 4D, which causes concerns for us. And I'll go through a few of them here. The Title 4D system is premised on the assumption that moms have custody. And I'll go through later why that is. The 4D system is based on the belief that women are unable to self-sustain. The 4D system is based on the myth that dads don't want a parent and are only minimally involved with their children. And the 4D system is contingent on the fact that one parent is labeled an absent parent. The 4D system is based on the erroneous belief that
Guys, you see how the shit is drawn up to bash one parent and make the other parent look like they're the motherfucker. They're a hell of a fucking person. Now, I mean, do you get where the hell of a shit come from? It's written. This is how they drew it up. This is how government Satan Zaddy drew it up. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with the bitch. This is how this motherfucker drew the shit up.
dads won't support their children unless they're forced to pay. In fact, in the early 1970s, when they were looking at the 4D program for the first time, the National Organization of Women testified before Congress regarding why these child support laws were needed. And they testified saying that because they were getting, just by default, having custody of all these children, they made it clear to Congress that their views at that time were custody of the children to the mother is not an award, it's a sentence. That's why they created the 4D program at the federal government, to try to rescue these women from the burden of custody. The other premises or myths or basis of the 4D system include those that are on here. What it does and the problems it creates is it builds a huge bureaucracy that supports one parent at the expense of the other. It gives the custodial parent a sense of invulnerability because they have this whole bureaucracy on their side. It creates increased animosity between parents, pitting one against the other, driving a further wedge because you've got that whole system that's...
Exactly, guys. It puts us at war with the bitch we just laid down with 9 months ago. It automatically puts us at war because it takes an attack on our financial wealth. And we all know that when you're a man, the only thing that makes you feel like a man is being in control of your financial situation. When you ain't got no money, bro, when you broke, oh man, all that stupidity creep in. That's how you end up in a system. That's how you end up in a government. That's how you end up. Look, peep this game, right? When you ain't got no money, when you struggling, don't you wanna become a rapper? That's his playground. Don't you wanna go to his playground? You wanna go to his playground, right? You want to make deals with his playground. You want to enter his playground and play there, right? Or that's when you start thinking, I should have stayed in school. I should have went to the school. This is where the Chads and the Tyrones, this is where they get it fucked up, because they think that his workshop, which is his school, they think that government saying Zaddy workshop which is a school, did them anything. You know what I mean? Did them anything. I mean, they got a lot of knowledge, but they ain't got no masculinity. Not a single ounce of masculinity in they bone, Chad and Tyrone. Like that? Bars. Or you go to their fun house. When everybody fuck up and when everybody done did they dirt and they did they bullshit, where they run to, guys? Don't they run to government saying Zaddy Devil Fun House, the church? Don't they all run to the church, right? Every time they done did some sinister shit, they run to the church and play on that man intelligence, on our creator intelligence. Sad. You know what I mean? Or they just double back. The women double back and they go to the court system. This is where they get to be lazy at, because now they just reap the benefits of the patriarch, the system that the very God created. They'll reap those benefits because now they will cling to this, I'm a woman. Hold on, I'm a woman. I'm a woman title. They'll cling to the I'm a woman title, guys. How y'all feel about that, class? How y'all feel about the fact that these bitches get to cling to the I'm a woman title? I don't blame y'all, because that shit fugazi. What about you, old adults? Because honestly, they taking our tax dollars, adults. Hold on 1 second. Brother Red Pill got something to say. Child support was not created to help children. Absolutely not created to help children. Absolutely. Child support was created to punish fathers and separate fathers from children. Fathers caught are biased, and in most cases give the mother custody and put the fathers on child support. Absolutely, guys. That was the whole goal, guys. That's how you weaken a man. That's how you destroy masculinity. Remember, guys, it's good versus evil. It's not black versus white. It's not black versus white. If it was black versus white, then our women wouldn't team up with government saying Zaddy. You know what I'm saying? It's good versus evil. It's righteous versus unrighteous. You know what I mean? It's God, the Father, it's Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and then you got government Satan, Zaddy, Lucifer, Lilith, and the false prophets. That's what it is, guys. That's who you gotta wait. That's our enemy. Guys that fuck with me, Goobreads, so that we all on the same page. Our enemy over here, our enemy is not the white man. You know what I mean? Because the white man ain't sell us to the white man. All right? Our brothers, Chad and Tyrone, sold us to the white man. All right? So it will forever be good versus evil over here on this channel, the Mr. Goobread Show, because we not dumb. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna play on our emotions. Nobody gonna distract us with bullshit, with stupidity. It's good versus evil. Point blank, period. It's either you fucking with materialistic shit and the ways of this world, or you gonna change the laws of your mind and you righteous and you fucking with the right shit. All right? Up is down and down is up. Don't be one of them niggas get caught in the middle. Period. Period, y'all. Point blank, period, y'all. We ain't got time to play.
Constantly initiating actions that the custodial parent hasn't even initiated themselves. This creates a deeper conflict, and conflict is what's worse on kids. Conflict is worse on kids than divorce itself. And the 4D system then is based on the concept that the custodial parent will get everything, because remember, and you'll learn as we go through the presentation, that the assumption is the dad's not around. the 40 system, because it provides all these things for the custodial mom, provides everything for the custodial mom, and I say mom or dad, if I say those words erroneously through my presentation, there are non-custodial moms and there are custodial dads, but sometimes I slip up and use gender-based language.
Understand, guys, these are just what the numbers show, guys. All right? You are responsible of your source. Your source is your seed, all right? You are responsible of that. Remember, guys, let's go back to what I said in the beginning. Salute to guys that's watching on the playback. Let's go back to what I said in the beginning, guys. We are responsible for our source, guys. We can't go giving the women our power. I've read you the word. I've read you the verse, guys. We know. If you didn't know, now you know. You've been warned. You cannot say you don't know now, guys. Period. This is how it's designed. It's designed to give the women our property. It's no different from slavery, guys. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's no different from slavery. They give the women rights over the slaves. These women treat these kids like slaves, bro. They treat these kids like they slaves. And bitches get triggered when I say that. And I don't give a fuck how triggered they get, because it's the truth. They don't give a fuck about these kids, yo. These kids is a quick ends to means. Period. We not gonna play no games out here now, man. We not playing games with them now. This is the problem with our community. Our community want to sit here and sugarcoat shit and laugh and play and lie and eat crab legs. That's all the fuck we want to do in our community nowadays, is lie and eat crab legs and dig in bitches' cat litter. Yes. We want to dig and you got some simp enforcer niggas that will be mad at you because you don't want to dig in cat litter like them. We ain't over here to cover women's shit. That's what I mean when I say dig in cat litter. It's a lot of you niggas that like to dig in cat litter and cover women's shit. Whether you using Pookie to do it or you doing it direct, live and direct. Stop digging in women cat litter, covering their shit. All right, guys? Let's not do that. For a long time, for 70 years, we've been doing that. And that's not helping our women. It's not helping our women grow. We need our women to grow so they can stop being used as weapons against us. Because that's what's happening. You know what I mean? When you heal, guys, you will see that clearer. I mean, this is why I'm not mad at no bitch, even though they be mad as hell at me. But I don't get mad at these females. Let me say it that way. So, because, you know, they, but you can say it nicer. There's no nice way to put the truth. My delivery is my delivery, and you not going to control my narrative. That's what they mean when they tell you, yo, but you can say it better, or it's just your delivery. Fuck all that. The truth is the truth, all right? Point blank, period. Fuck that. You're not going to control my delivery, and you're not going to control my narrative, because it's I don't know how to say shit nice, period. You know what I mean? Period. And honestly, I'm not that offensive, because the women that I really talk to, the women that fuck with me, they don't think I'm offensive. They don't think I'm offensive at all. I wake up to a beautiful, submissive wife. I like the way that sounds. And we ain't even got to get married, because we not married, but I just like the way it sounds. You know what I mean? But I wake up to a beautiful, submissive woman every day.
They say, get a job. She said,
That's
get a
why I'm not in
job.
competition with you
Get a
guys.
job.
Hint, hint. You know what I mean? So you ain't got to worry about me doing no bullshit,
That's
telling
my
you no
daughter.
dumb shit.
She
And
working
plus,
for
I
me.
know what it is to wake up with a female that is your biggest cheerleader. I know what that is. So this is why I can't sit on these platforms and play the biggest victim for y'all and cater to y'all itching ear. I can't do that New Testament shit. I can only keep an Old Testament for you guys. And when I say Old Testament, I can only address the sin. I can only address the motherfucking problem. And if you like it, you're going to follow. You're going to subscribe. You're going to like. And if you don't, because it's not what your ear want to hear, boss, then get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck about you. You go. Looking at you, how my girl Love say, like how you looking at me. You know what I mean? But in any event, you're going to get the real. You're going to get the truth. You know what I mean? Word.
Language, mom and dad, and that's only because, according to the University of Minnesota, 90% of the divorces and paternity cases in Minnesota result in custodial mom. So forgive me if I use those a little too loosely at times. The 40 system, probably the worst thing, and why there's so much of an uproar on this, is the sense of fairness is absent in the 40 system because the power of equities are not used in administrative law. And all these proceedings are done in administrative hearing process. The next section is public rights versus private rights. I just want to review that by saying that there's two different kinds of law. There's public rights and private rights. Public rights where there's a government interest, and private rights where there's no government interest. If one company, one small mom and pop shop is suing another because somebody slipped on their sidewalk or whatever, it's going to be all handled in private law. The government's not going to be involved in that. And there's also, with regard to the difference between public rights and private rights, I'm sure I don't need to review this for you because you're legislators and you're here and you know all this, but in private rights, everybody's protected.
Yo, guys, to uncomplicate that, what she's saying is the shit not even real. Like, this is some private shit. This is some setup shit. These niggas don't really take this shit serious. That's why it's not in the real courts. That's why they got some shit called family court. It's a whole separate part, guys. It's a whole separate part of the scam. Like, it's not, they don't take this shit serious, except for the ones that's benefiting from it.
By the Constitution. And in public rights, everything is statute driven. And in public rights, when the government is involved, there's always a compelling state interest. There's always a protectable interest by the government, a pecuniary interest, a safety interest, an interest for the general welfare. But the general welfare has limitations according to the law. And on the far right-hand side there, private domestic relations has been left up to the states. The federal government, according to the Constitution, does not get involved. And here is a report from the Congressional Research Service out of Washington that says, under the U.S. Constitution, Congress has little direct authority to legislate in domestic relations and family law issues. That's the private matters. And that's clear the way our Minnesota statutes are written. In chapters 245 through 267, it's all about public welfare when the government is involved. In chapters 517 through 519, the revisor's office has labeled those chapters in the statute as private domestic relations. The problem is that in our state law right now, we've run into a problem between mixing public and private rights. We've got the public welfare in the 256 chapters, and we've got private domestic relations law, which started out in the 518 chapter. Now we've suddenly taken what was meant to be public law, which the Title 4D law, and we've embedded it into 518, so we've blurred those lines. We've crossed that bright line of separating public versus private rights, which is causing a lot of confusion. Public rights and private rights, when it comes to family law, become very different. In private rights, you get a judicial proceeding in front of a district court judge. In the 4D process, you only get an administrative hearing in front of a magistrate. And by the way, the 4D magistrates in the administrative process are all paid for by the pool of money that is developed through the child support collections money that's put through the system. We'll get to that more later. In the judicial proceeding, the judge can rely on his equitable powers. In the public rights in the 4D system, in the administrative process, the magistrate has no authority to rule on their equitable powers. Everything is statutory only. No constitutional issues can be heard in that court. They can only be heard in the judicial proceedings. And what's most disheartening for many people that end up in the administrative process is, according to the expedited rules in the state of Minnesota, hearsay is allowed. So there's a lot of families that are impacted in incredible ways based on hearsay, which that's where this sense of unfairness comes into play. So how did this all start? Where did 4D come from? 4D is from the Social Security Act. The Social Security Act was started in 1935, and we have a team of researchers. We've got 7 people on our research team that have researched Title 4D for a cumulative 38 years when we add all of our time together. So we've spent the time trying to understand this, to figure out what has happened. Well, the Social Security Act was started for the purpose of providing a social safety net for low-income people. It was to take care of those that were dependent members of the population, and dependent meant dependent on the government because they could not take care of themselves due to poverty. So it was a way, the Social Security Act is a way of protecting those people, as we have learned, on a temporary basis for a period of time in their life when they can't do it themselves. The way the federal government decided to eliminate the major causes of dependency was to start out with the following sections of the Social Security Act. One was the old age security, which we most all think about when we think of Social Security Act. Second, they started unemployment right away. They started the security for children right away, and they started a public health segment and a couple more as well. But the whole idea was to provide marginal, temporary, but regular income for individuals in need. So when I talk about Title 4D being part of the Social Security Act, we're not talking about affecting the old age retirement program at all. It's 2 separate programs. Right now, there's 21.
Guys, yo, you hear the bullshit in this? Like, it's a whole lot of lazy shit. Like, it's a whole lot of lazy shit going on right now, yo. That's all I'm gonna say, yo. It's a whole lot of lazy shit going on, man. Whole lot of lazy shit. Like, get the fuck up. Get the fuck up and work, bro. We both made this sexual decision. You know what I mean? And this the thing. The women be capping like if every nigga is the Pookie. But niggas ain't Pookie. Like, niggas want their legacy. So what happened? We both did this. I shot the club up. You let me shoot the club up. Now, who gave you the right to make the final decision on a mistake that we both made? You get what I'm saying, guys? Like, why is it that the government anxiety awards the women property rights disguised as custody? Because that's all it is. They award them property rights over the kids. And these women run with the property rights, and they treat their kids like slave and property anyway. And they get to do whatever the fuck they want. Can't nobody tell them what to do with their property. Nobody. Not your auntie, not your nobody, not even your grandmother, motherfucker. Can tell your mama, your hell of a mama, what to do with you. Incredible, guys.
1 titles in the Social Security Act, and what we're talking about is Title 4 of the Social Security Act. That is Title 4, which is the rubric for that is needy families and child welfare. I can tell you exactly what that says, but that's the focus for Title 4. So Title 4D is a segment of Title 4 of the Social Security Act. Title 4D is child support collections and enforcement, to give you kind of a picture of how this all fits in. So what are the limitations of the Title 4D welfare service program? Well, as our researchers went back and studied this, not only back to 1935, but we've been back to 1912 to try to understand the whole evolution of these programs. Title 4 was created by the federal government, and it was for a limited class of people. for needy and dependent people to ensure their basic needs. And then we've got lots of references on how the whole Title IV is limited to those in need and those who are dependent on the government. Sometimes that word dependent gets confused when we talk about dependent children, because people think of dependent children as anybody 18 and under. But that's not true for Title IV of the Social Security Act. We're talking about dependent children, dependent who have no parents to provide for them, no relative to provide for them. So here you can see the legislative history here where it's limited to need independence. Here's another reference from legislative history of the Social Security Act, talking again about needy, dependent children. That was the appropriation for Title IV. So then we need to look at two different words, needy and dependent. What are those? According to a private independent report going back to 1946, as they were studying the Social Security Act, they made it clear in that report, and many others I might add, that need was defined by a strict definition. That definition in Minnesota law was clear in 1937, that a dependent child not only was under the age of 18, but was deprived of parental support because of continued absence from the phone from the primary wage earner, and not or not just, or not eliminating, but and whose relatives, nobody's relatives, no one is able to provide for them without public assistance. That's the purpose of Title IV. So that dependent child, here again, in Minnesota statute even today, where they're not able to provide for the child. In 1974, the federal government looked at Title IV-A of the Social Security Act. Now, Title IV-A is the section for TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or AFDC was the old title for that. And in Minnesota, that's where the MFIP would come from, where all of the laws and all of the funding for MFIP come from Title IV-A. So in 1974, which was right after the sexual revolution, the federal government was looking at their Title IV-A roles and saying, wait a minute, we have so many people on here, this is exploding. We're giving so much assistance to so many, this is unsustainable. So the federal government decided to do a study on Title IV-A to say, you know, who are these people? Who's getting these services? What they discovered is the majority of the people in Title IV-A getting what we know of as welfare services were a result of out-of-wedlock births, single moms with children, dads were nowhere to be found, dads abandoned the family, all moms had custody by default because dads weren't there, dads failed to provide financially, they weren't around, and therefore mothers and children had been abandoned to public assistance. What they found out later is the only way the moms could get public assistance was if the dad wasn't there. So a lot of the dads, when they used to knock on the doors and say, hey, we're just checking up on you, the dads were actually up in the attic or hiding in the closet. So they weren't really even absent. So a lot of these assumptions that they've made to build the program on must also be questioned. So what they decided to do, the federal government said, aha, we have all of these people on 4A welfare services, and the dads out there, they should be paying, the dad should be paying. So they started the Title IV-D system in 1974 based on the following assumptions.
All right, guys, so that you following along. It started off as a scam, and black folks, you know what I mean, we was always going to stick it together. We was sticking together. It started off where we was sticking together. You know what I mean? We was hiding in the closet and shit. You know what I mean? We had our shorty on scamming the system. We would hide up in the closet. And they'll come like, yo, because remember, the whole scam is get rid of the man. You can't take none of this help. We want to help you. We want to help you. But you can't take none of this help until you get rid of the man. So if you ain't got a man, then we can help you. So it started off where we was helping each other, but then somebody got greedy.
Assumptions that women cannot get work outside of the home, that women are expected to stay home with kids, that women are unable to self-sustain without assistance of the government or a man, that the men are always the primary wage earner, that dads do not participate, and all married dads are deadbeats. Those were the assumptions on which Title IV-D was built. And I think today we can see that most all of those presumptions must be questioned. So it must be questioned, how the evolution of this program has gone even far beyond that. So this is where we're at, Title 4D of the Social Security Act. In 1974, when they developed the program, then they developed it for two reasons, the federal government, for two reasons and two reasons only. One, to protect those single mothers with kids on welfare and those at risk of falling on welfare if they don't get their child support. And the purpose of protecting those with child support services who are on welfare is cost recovery. If the mom and their child were getting $500 a month from the government wanted to go after those dads to get that $500 to reimburse the public fisc. Then they also, so that's cost recovery. Then the second limited class of citizens for Title 4D was the non-welfare group, which was those at risk of falling on welfare if they don't get their public assistance, which is cost avoidance. Very clear. The source I have at the bottom of this page.
Yo, guys, true story, no cap. No cap. Is, and I don't know what it is in your state, but in New York, right? If Shorty is on public assistance, then you fucked, bro, because they're gonna be raping you and they only gonna be giving her X amount of dollars. They're only gonna be sending her $25, $30 to her plantation, bro. So they'll be taking whatever it is they take from you, bro, whether they take $200, but they're only giving her $25. So your child, according to government saying Zaddy, your child can survive off of $25 cash. Now, I don't know what else he got on her plantation going, because he literally running her plantation at this point. You know what I mean? He got her in his crib, because it ain't her crib, guys. It ain't her crib. She like to say it's her crib because she's on the head of household. But that's government saying Zaddy crib, bro. You know what I mean? He run the show. That's his plantation. She's just the owner of that plantation, and she have the slaves, which is the kids, on that plan. You see how that work? That's how that work, guys. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, on the back end of that, they have nothing for us guys, right? Our shelter system is fucked up. Our mom's couch is questionable because that bitch always on some bullshit. It's nothing for us. Nothing. Our best bet is to get our own crib. And I say that, and it sounds funny, right? Crib. But they got a room for us. They got rooms. You can get a room. You know what I mean? Room. It ain't your mom's, it ain't in your mom's house, but it's a room. You see how that is? This is why I don't entertain females that try to cap out their mouth about broke niggas when they have a son on their couch that don't have his shit together, because America is not designed for a man. America is not designed for men. All we have heard tonight on this live was the patriarch and how it was designed to give the woman everything. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect my creator and my God, but I do have a couple questions, and I know I'm not nobody to question my creator or to question God, but I understand why he created the patriarch the way he created it, thinking that the Lilith energy was gone. But the patriarch is one hell of a structure, especially with the way the women are moving nowadays, guys. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, guys, just because I have Mrs. Goodbread don't mean I don't know what's going on in the real world. Me and Mrs. Goodbread, we go in the real world. We go out in the real world, guys. You know what I mean? So we know what's going on. Shit crazy.
page is the General Accounting Office, but the sources go on so far. It's abundantly clear. I'm going to show you some ad nauseum, and you're going to wish I didn't give you so many here. But I wanted to let you know that that has always been the goal. It's never changed, and there's huge support for it. This is from a Washington state case law where they clearly articulated that the 4D program was for those receiving public assistance and those where there would be a real possibility that the custodial parent would fall on the welfare rolls. The Supreme Court of South Carolina also came with another case and said the same thing. For 4D services, the applicant must be eligible for 4D or for AFDC, if not likely to need public welfare if the support is not made. Just more evidence of what I'm saying is true. So I've given you 3 sources here about the intent and purpose of the Title 4D. And we have, as I said, many other sources. If those aren't good enough and you want more, let me know. We'll give them to you. So if those are the limitations of the program, cost recovery and cost avoidance, that is legitimate use of the program. We're totally in favor of that. We don't want to do anything to change that purpose. We believe that that's valid. There's a compelling state interest. There's a protectable interest. There's a pecuniary interest that affects your pocketbook and my pocketbook, whether it's the state pocketbook on the left or the federal pocketbook on the right. In our Minnesota statute, it's very clear that all of our 4D laws must follow the federal law. So federal 4D law actually supersedes state 4D law because we're only doing our law to implement the federal law. Right in our code, it's very clear that everything in 4D is done under Title 4D of the Social Security Act. So the controlling authorities for Title 4D are very clear and easy to find. Thank goodness for the internet. We can do gobs of research that way. With the state constitution and the US Constitution always being the borders for everything that we do, Title 4D law is clear with the actual law itself. And in 42 USC, the chapter 42 of the US Code is where you find all of the 4D law. Chapter 45.
Supreme 10, you bring up a great point right there. You bring up a great point in that comment right there, because I have a rule, right? And my rule says, listen, either you gonna give me your money and I'm gonna I'm gonna give my money to government say anxiety, or I'm gonna save my money and you just go spend your money to government say anxiety. But either way, I'm going to save some money in this relationship. Now, however you want to pick option 1 or option 2, but that's how it's going to go. And that's how it should be when you're the quarterback of the team, guys. You got to pick women that'll let you quarterback. Nowadays, it's rare, but you got to find them. You got to find them. You got to find them. And only how you're going to do that is working on yourself, changing the laws of your mind and putting your foot down. And then none of them gonna play with you. And then you pick who you like the most, period. It's not complicated, guys. Y'all make it complicated because you want to stay on these vibrations. Y'all want to stay on these low vibrational shit, fucking with the low vibrational women.
5, the federal regulations, you've got state law, administrative rules, and then agency policies too. So we've been able to track all those things to try to understand where's this all been, where is it at now, and what's going on. So we've got no problem, again, for using the Title 4D program for cost recovery and cost avoidance. The next thing that you might ask is, well, that's all fine and good, but there's probably been some amendments. 30 years have gone by. What amendments have occurred? Well, our research team has studied the amendments as well. In fact, it has been said that the original Social Security Act was 12 pages long. And today, if you were to take the paperwork of all the amendments of the Social Security Act, it would reach from here to the moon. So yes, there has been amendments. We've studied the specific Title 4D amendments going all the way back to 1974. I've tried to summarize some of them here for you today. In 1984, there were many changes in the child support amendment. And one of the things that is causing confusion with what these amendments is this kind of statement here in red, that this amendment changed things. The federal government tried to change things so that the demand for equal services, so that the demand for equal services for welfare and non-welfare could be fulfilled. Okay, but what the Minnesota DHS is coming back and saying is, well, in 1984, the federal government made us provide these services to everybody, welfare and non-welfare. They changed the laws in 1984, is what the Minnesota DHS is claiming in individual sessions with you and others. Well, our research team has done the research. We've looked through the entire legislative history with all of the federal documents to figure out what was intended and what was meant. Well, it's clear on the record that the record is filled with these kinds of comments here, as from Senator Dole, that the purpose of this 1984 amendment was to place new strong emphasis on the non-welfare caseload, because when child support payments are missed or never received, that can make the difference between remaining independent of welfare or being forced back onto public assistance. So you see how he was really referring to the at-risk group. And if you pour through the legislative history, you'll find these kinds of comments over and over and over again. There's nothing in the 1984 amendments that show that they expanded the class to include every child in the universe. Another one of our own favorite Minnesota senators, Dave Durnberger, is also on the record, and he has a similar comment. In his statements, he talks about the same thing, how women who are divorced or have had out-of-wedlock children, they cannot find work. And especially those that have been married for a while and been stay-at-home moms, that, they'll be forced to public assistance if we don't help them continue to get these support payments. They'll fall on welfare again, and we don't want them to fall on welfare again. We want to decrease that dependency. I've spoke with Senator Dave Durnberger, and he supports our research and our interpretation of what has happened all along the way. So hopefully that will give you an idea of what really happened in 1984 without getting into too many details. There's lots more details I could talk about. So then we continue with the amendments. In 1996 is when Clinton came out with the Welfare Reform Act, also known as the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act. They mean the same thing. If you see them, they're interchangeable. In 1996, people that I've talked to have said, as I've talked about the evolution of the 40 program, they've said, well, Clinton changed everything in 1996. Didn't you know that? Well, we've done the research. Our research team went through, again, the legislative record to see, did anything happen in 1996 that made the 40 program required to be applied to everybody in the universe? Well, in testimony in April of 2003 in front of the House Human Services Policy Committee, a representative from the DHS, who's no longer there, said Congress made it abundantly clear in 1996 Welfare Reform Act that 40 services had to be provided for any individual who applies for application. That was the DHS testimony in a hearing in this room, maybe even. However, we've done the research and we're not able to find it, and they have not been able to provide exactly what that is. We have found instead that in
Pretty much, class. Whenever you have a program that says anybody can apply, you don't have to have no requirements. This is the problem you're going to have right here. You're going to have people money grabbing and being greedy and forgetting about them deadly sins. But these will be the same women that'll sit around and say money is the root of all evil. Ain't that a damn shame, yo?
1996, Clinton's whole purpose was time-limited assistance and increasing individual responsibility. One of the things that we found as we've poured through the amendments from 1996 is just more information to support our position. For example, this is a section of the public law that's been changed. and modified. What they did is there was so much confusion on what do you mean by dependent child? Do you mean dependent child dependent on the government, or do you mean dependent child under 18? So here in 1996 law, they clarified it, and they, by striking the phrase who is dependent child and adding with respect to whom assistance is being provided. So under 4A, which as I said is the MFIP, TANF, and those such programs. So we can't find it where anything changed in 1996. And believe me, we've dug and dug to try to get the research. So how has this philosophy impacted the unauthorized, what we call the unauthorized expansion of the 4D program? The biggest question is who falls in the at-risk group of 4D recipients? We talked about so far that it means those that would fall on public assistance if they didn't get their child support. And we've also said that the DHS thinks everybody must fall into that class. But I hope that we can agree on this, that Kathleen Blatz, as a divorced person, did not become at risk of falling on public assistance just because she got divorced. I hope we can agree that Susan Gertner, just because she got divorced, didn't mean that she was going to fall on public assistance. Same thing with Pat Anderson, our state auditor. Does she need Title 40 welfare services? I hope that we can agree none of those do. Also, add some more. Elisa Rockefeller Dayton, when they were divorced, did she need 4D welfare services to come? Did she need the government to come in and make sure that child support was received from Senator Mark Dayton? What about Michael Jackson? You know what? He's a custodial dad. He can go to the California DHS office, fill out an application for $25, and have the government go after his, what was it, ex-housekeeper who's now a maid in a hotel to get child support for him. According to the Minnesota DHS, that would be a requirement of the DHS. So we're trying to get to that at-risk group and who should be on this program. Now, the Minnesota DHS will tell you all these people. They have to provide services to all these people if they filled out an application. Well, no one's stopping anybody from filling out an application. And the DHS is saying, you know, when you say, why are you doing this? Why do you provide these services to everybody? They say, the feds make us do it. Well, you know what? Absurdities in law must be questioned. And I think we've learned that lesson from Rosa Parks. I was listening to some of the coverage on Rosa Parks, of course, over the last few weeks upon her death. And there was some recordings from her when she was booked and charged. She looked at the police officer and said, "Why are you doing this?" And he looked at her and said, "I don't know, but that's the law." It's that same sort of absurdity and that same sort of challenge that we need to have, and those eyes that we need to have as we look at the Title 4D program. The United States case law is clear too, that the role of the judiciary in cases of this sort, going back to 67 when all this was going on, begins and ends with assuring that the commissioner's regulations fall within his authority to implement the congressional mandate in some reasonable manner. Well, the Supreme Court is making that decision. That also is true for legislators as well, because if the agency is carrying out a program beyond its reasonable manner, beyond congressional intent, it's time to challenge that. And the reason it needs to be challenged is there's some huge misunderstandings taking place. In December of 2004, we got a letter from Kevin Goodnow, who I'm sure he probably didn't write the letter. Somebody on his team wrote the letter. But in that letter, it says Title 4D is an entitlement program available to anyone who applies for it. So we did some research. Where, looking where is this 4D an entitlement program? In our research, we found out quite differently. I was going to bring the US Code book today with me. I forgot it. But in the US Code, it says clearly that Title 4A of the Social Security Act is no entitlement. There's no individual entitlement. So you would guess that if people, low-income people on need, there's no entitlement, why in 4D, it makes no logical sense that 4D would be an entitlement program. So we did some more research to find out if that theory was true. A US Supreme Court case, Blessing v. Freestone, makes a very clear statement.
Guys, whenever you have a program that's designed to where anybody can sign up for it, then you limit the people that really need the help. You fuck up the people that need the help because they're gonna be people that don't need help applying for it, guys. Common sense, guys. How you feel about that, class?
It says that the Title 4D program was intended to benefit individual children and custodial parents, and therefore it does not intended to benefit individual children and custodial parents, and therefore it does not constitute a federal right, and far from reaching an individual entitlement to services. And it goes on to say that it does not give rise to individual rights. So for us, that made it very clear that Title 4D is not an entitlement program. But we did some more research. In that research, we found a GAO report from 1995. In that report, it's very clear. The rate at which child support services are being subsidized appear inappropriate for a population that Congress may not have originally envisioned. They're talking about the 4D program here. Also in that report, the non-AFDC child support program, many are not within the low-income population to which Congress envisioned providing child support enforcement services. The purpose of this study was to look at that program, and they found out that the program was being broadened. They had broadened the scope to what was intended. I called the GAO. I talked to the woman in charge of these programs. She told me they reported this to Congress and that they still today stand behind this report. But we didn't stop there. We kept digging. And we found a quote from Donna Shalala from the US DHHS, who said, as part of that whole Blessing Freestone lawsuit, that a guarantee of the full range of child support services for all individual cases would bankrupt 40 agencies across the country. I guess you could call her a prophet, because that is what is happening today. We've looked at 8 county budgets in the metro area on how they're paying for these 40 services, because the federal government, the state government has to balance their budget. The federal government doesn't have to balance their budget. The state doesn't have to balance their budget like the federal government does. The counties have to balance their budget. So what we found, for example, in Hennepin County in 2002, they had to do a $5 million tax levy just to pay for this program. And I could give you details on other counties. We can search through your county for you if you want to know the information. Let me know. Then we found some more information. There's a brief written by Ken Starr when he was the U.S. Solicitor General, and there he was talking specifically about the 4D program. The 4D program was designed by Congress to save federal and state funds, what I told you before, by recovering assigned support payments from absent parents of children and families receiving AFDC benefits, and to reduce the number of welfare recipients, consistent with what I've told you. Ken Starr says this plan would be undermined if Title 4D became an entitlement program, which guaranteed specific child support and services to all individual AFDC recipients. So here he's saying that the services are not even guaranteed for AFDC. Why would they be guaranteed for non-AFDC? You've got to ask yourself that question. Then it was interesting. There was also some testimony on file to Ms. Fry, who at that time was the chief of the Office of Child Support in California, testified in front of the U.S. House Ways and Means Committee in Washington in 1997. And she was incredibly frustrated because they were coming out and revising all of these incentive programs for Title 4D. And she's like, wait a minute. You know, the proposals here for these incentives are crazy because it's encouraging states to recruit middle-class families never dependent on public assistance and never likely to be so, recruiting them in their programs to maximize federal incentives. And she went on to say that her colleagues across the country have been talking and informing her that the way to win at this system, meaning the 4D incentive system, is to recruit the middle class so that you can bring in the higher orders into the system and get more money in your state. So when people say it's all about the money, it's not so much all about the money between the mom and the dad. With regard to the 4D system, it's all about the money for the agency. The U.S. House Ways and Means Committee, in their book, acknowledged Ms. Fry's testimony. And in their Green Book, if you're familiar with the Green Book, it comes out about once every 2 to 3 years where they analyze all of the programs. They made it very clear in there that they know the 4D program may be recruiting more and more cases from the private sector, bringing them into the public sector, providing them with subsidized services, but not greatly improving overall collections. So they know this is happening. They know it's a problem. And yes, we have contacted many people in Washington about this issue as well, and will continue to do so. So I've given you many sources about what are the limitations of the program, and is it an entitlement program or not? I've given you all of the following, and we have more if you need them as well. The expansion of the 4D program is also being further, it's grown out of proportion more because of some vague Minnesota law that's on the books right now. In Minnesota 518, 551, sub 9B, this statute is in there. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You've got it in your handout. But the key words here are in white. This statute says, on Minnesota law right now, in all other 4D cases, the public authority, meaning the agency here, may intervene as a matter of right. Okay, depending on how you read law and how you know about statutory construction and how you know about rules of court, that may or may not make sense to you. That phrase, public authority may intervene as a matter of right, the first thing that you need to do is look at, okay, what are the limitations of federal law? Let's first of all take that into perspective. The limitations are those on welfare and those at risk of falling on welfare. Once that assessment is made, before you make a determination if there's a matter of right, then you must look at the Minnesota Rules of Civil Procedure. Rule 2401 says that before a third party can become involved in a case, in a private case, there must be 4 things that are proven to claim before you can claim that interest. Those things must be that the interest and the intervention must be timely. 2, there must be an interest in the property. 3, there must be a finding that the disposition in that case would impede the ability to protect, for the government to protect that interest. And 4, that the interest here of the government would not be represented by the parties. But all 4 of those things must be true. What's happening, however, is the Minnesota State 4D agency is erroneously interpreting this phrase in Minnesota law as an absolute right that they can be involved in every private case if there's an application for 4D services. What that's creating is a problem because it's bypassing the federal 4D law and it's leading to an overly broad interpretation, which is leading to an unconstitutional application of that law, and it can be perceived as being unconstitutional on its face. Some serious issues involved here with that one little phrase. So with that overreach of authority and expansion of the program, what are the process? What are the outcomes that we face? Well, first of all, you might ask yourself, how are private cases being recruited into the 4D program? How does this happen? Well, one of the first things that happens is when a private party gets divorced and they're in court, oftentimes the judge will order wage withholding in a divorce situation. In and of itself, wage withholding, income withholding is not necessarily a bad thing. But they're doing this based on some real misinterpretations. First of all, many judges will tell you that they believe wage withholding is required by federal law in every divorce and paternity case. We've looked at the record, we've done the research.
All right, guys. So now when it comes to this wage withholding thing, me personally, I would say just let them take it out. Let them take it straight out your check. Set it and forget it. It'll be gone before you know it. After the first 4 weeks, guys, you won't even pay no mind to it. It'll be immune. You'll be immune to it. Set it and forget it. You know what I mean? What you don't want to do is have these arrears to where now you digging out of a hole even more, guys. You want to set it and forget it. Let them take it out. You know what I mean? You won't even know that it's missing.
Research, that's not true. The truth is the federal law can only require wage withholding in 4D cases. Remember what I said before, that they have no jurisdiction over private domestic relations. And federal law allows good cause exemption even in 4D cases. Secondly, many judges believe that wage withholding must be done and can only be done through the 4D system. Well, the truth is that there are three kinds of wage withholding or income withholding. You can either do full 4D services if you want to go sign up down at the county to have them take the money out of your paycheck. Two, there's something called non-4D wage withholding only, which most people don't even know exists, where a divorced couple can get the wage withholding service, but they're not in the whole 4D program. There's also private direct deposit now. The 4D agency, the state DHS, is started to, rather than require the non-custodial dad to write their check to the state and then they resubmit a check to the custodial parent, rather than doing that, the state is working with the new banking technology and trying to use direct deposit, which is fine and good. But what that also means is two individuals who are divorcing can set up their own direct deposit independent of the government. They don't need the government to do that for them. So what happens? Somebody gets an order for wage withholding, so they go down to the county and they fill out a 4D application. First of all, the 4D agency doesn't tell them there's two kinds of wage withholding. They just shove in front of them a 13 or 16-page application, which I have here today if you want to look at it. And they say, this is what you need to fill out the services. So unbeknownst to the custodial parent filling out the application, they suddenly sign themselves into this big program they don't even know that much about. Now, the state law and the federal law do.
And the sad thing here, guys, the sad thing here, hold on. Let me cam up for this one right here, guys. The sad thing is these women, they take the bait and they don't even know what they signing up for half the times. Half the time, majority of the times, they know. They know what the fuck they doing. But they don't even know how real it is. They don't even know what they be signing off to. They so stuck on the end goal of what they seen their peoples do or heard their peoples do and what's facts. You know them ideas that they take in as a fact, but it ain't really a fact. You know what I mean? It's sad. And it's sad because they don't have and the older generation. I talk with so many women that'll tell you, bro, don't nobody teach them nothing. Don't nobody teach them how not to be stupid. They don't have a lot of role models. They have no role models, no female role models teaching them not to be stupid. Every female they got to look up to is trying to be independent. And that's not the way to go. That's not how you gonna win. It's sad, guys. It's sad.
Require full notice and full disclosure of everything it means to be in that program, but we can only imagine what is actually said during that application transaction or not said. One interesting thing too, at the very end of the 4D application here in Minnesota, there's a signature clause. In that signature clause, which the applicant parent signs, one of the key things in there, and it says, I understand that the county attorney's office represents only the county and the state. The county attorney, the 4D agency, does not represent either parent, and the 4D agency does not represent the child. There's so many people, even in the 4D system, that will say, well, we're there for the children. They're not there for the children. The county attorney and the 4D agency are there to protect the government interests. If you go back to what...
You right, guys? You hear that? That's proof right there, guys. It ain't about Lilith, which is your baby mother, and it ain't about your child, guys. It's about government, Satan, Zaddy. Point blank, period. Is she working with him or is she not?
What I said before, that the 4D system is provided for those on welfare and those at risk of falling on welfare. The 4D agency there is there to protect those two interests. The money part of it. They're not there to protect anything but that. And that's what they're trying to get across in the application here. So what happens? The custodial mom or the custodial dad goes down to fill out the 4D application. And what we find with this application is there's absolutely no eligibility standards for Title 4D welfare services. And there's not even a place on the application for the applicant's income. It's not on there. They don't even ask. They don't care. We also find with the 40 application in Minnesota, there's no disclosure of the applicant's income, which I just mentioned, which would be required for means testing. There's also no process in place to notify the other parent that says, hey, due process notice here, you're about to go on a program. You have anything to say about that? Nothing. With the 40 application process, there's also no approval process or assessment process because everybody gets in. Why would they need to assess anything? Well, you know what? You'll see later that in 45 CFR 303.2, an assessment is required. Also, there's no investigation or verification of the accuracy of the information on that application. What happens is the non-custodial parent ends up finding in court, not in court, in administrative hearing, that the hearsay provided on that application is all considered fact. That becomes a problem. And also, there's no process in place to close the file when one parent objects. And I'm not going to get into 45 USC 1301D today, but that is another limitation that goes back to 1935 when the Social Security Act started that says if either parent objects to their child being on welfare and they're willing to take over, they get to take over. That subject is for another day. What are the fiscal outcomes when all of these cases are getting into the 40 system? Well, the DHS can boast, they can come in front of the legislature, they can write to reporters, put it in the paper that they've collected record high child support through the system. They've collected $595 million in state fiscal year 2005. Then they also come back and are discouraged and say that they need tougher enforcement measures because they say there's a $1.5 billion child support debt in Minnesota. And everybody's astounded thinking that's horrible. You know, all dads are deadbeats. Well, wait a minute there. The truth is that that $1.5 billion worth of child support debt includes 30 years worth of debt with compounded interest. And that debt includes all debt that they have reported to the finance department as written off. But they still like to talk about the big debt that nobody's paying. The funding scheme gets very complicated, and that probably is another half-hour discussion. We can get into some of that in the Q&A if you want to. But basically what we're saying is because they're recruiting so many people who don't need to be in the system, who should not be in the system, who aren't supposed to be in the system because based on the federal law, that the system, the 40 system, is growing on the backs of people who should not be in the program and who probably would have paid anyway. But the more people that are in the 40 system, the more money that the state agency gets from the federal government, whether it's needed or not. I could give you lots and lots of numbers, but it can glaze over an audience really fast when you start talking a lot of numbers. So I'm only going to limit myself to 3 different slides here on the numbers. If we need to get into more numbers in the Q&A, we can do that or another time. But based on the most recent report, the Minnesota DHS Child Support Performance Report, these are the statistics. Right now in the Title 40 program, only 18% of those on the program are on welfare, and 61% are former welfare recipients, and 21 are never public assistance. Now, when you just look at these reports, glaze over them, you don't think much of this. But as we've started to question this program and how are there 249,000 people in this program, that's where we figured out the expansion of the program, that everybody and anybody's getting in this program, and it's not limited to those that were intended by Congress. There's the US numbers if you have any interest in there. It's kind of interesting to see those. The problem is nationwide, and that's why we've also been working with Washington, but it's going to have to be a federal and state combined effort. First of all, let's look at that former welfare class. In Minnesota, if there's 152,000 people in the 40 system, that's 61%, we've done the research to find out how many of those should really need the services. Well, remember I said no application requires the applicant's income, so they don't keep it in PRISM as far as I know. There's no way to track what is the income of these recipients, but the U.S. Commissioner of Child Support Enforcement has found a study, and she may have commissioned the study, I'm not sure, found a study that 30% of the people leaving TANF have a likelihood of coming back. So we know that not all of those would even should be in the system according to congressional intent. As we work the numbers, based on our research, we believe that the 40 caseload in Minnesota could be reduced by 56%. And that could be reduced if we take out 70% of the former public assistance and 70% of the never public assistance. Now, this is all an estimate, but no one's been able to show us that our estimates are wrong. And if we can save 56% in expenses, maybe that's money that could be used elsewhere in a time of financial need for our state. There's a lot of numbers here. The main thing that I want you to point out is the 20% and the 40%. What's interesting is in that non-PA welfare column, the total number of recipients that includes 20% of the total recipients, but they're getting 40% of the money from that group, because that's where the higher child support orders, when, as the U.S. House Ways and Means Committee said, they're recruiting from the middle class, even the upper middle class, to get these higher orders in the system so they flow through, so that the state can say, we dispersed $589 million this year, aren't we wonderful? The problem that this overreach of authority leads to is many constitutional violations, which creates a huge liability and which is beginning to create excess litigation in the courts, because this has gotten out of control and people are fed up with it. Individuals are getting educated, lawyers are getting educated. Because of the overreach of authority is creating due process violations, privacy violations, equal protection violations, fundamental rights violations, and spending powers violations. It's huge. The problem here has a potential to cost a lot of money to the government because of that unwarranted, unauthorized overreach of authority. The second question is, how can the state be assured the state won't lose the entire funding for 4A and 4D services, as the DHS claims, and as they have stated in testimony? First of all, I want to share with you the CPR philosophy, again, based on our research. In order to protect the family, we're asking the legislators to ensure that the state law and agency policy are acting within the scope of congressional intent. We're asking that the legislators ensure the state law and agency policy are acting to ensure the constitutional protections to all parents. And we're asking the Minnesota legislators to be innovative leaders and to be on the leading edge of this inevitable change, which we believe is going to have a domino effect across the United States, because everybody is looking to be fiscally responsible. By reducing the number of applicants and recipients of 4D, by taking out the non-needy recipients, we're reducing the unnecessary government expense and increasing public aid money available to either reduce the budget as a whole or to take that money, personnel, and move it to other programs for people that are truly needy, where the programs might be in jeopardy right now. This is consistent with even what Al Gore has said, that to achieve the goal of government is to do better with less. So we're asking two things: that the Minnesota legislature consider modifying the state law to clarify eligibility standards for 4D welfare services, and to clarify the limitations of government intervention in private cases. Here's the testimony back to April of 2003. In red, there were 3 threats given to the legislator by the DHS. Those 3 threats in red were: 1, the DHS is telling the Minnesota legislator, we have to provide these services. Number 2, they're saying, if we don't provide these services, we're going to violate the state plan. And number 3, if we violate the state plan, we're going to lose $350 million. Whereas as legislators, that's hard to hear. I would be concerned if I was you too, if you thought you were going to lose $350 million. But we've done the research to find out if this is true. Where is the specific reference in the state plan? We can't find it. The DHS also says the feds make us do it. Well, based on the research, do you think that's true? One of the federal codes that the DHS will bring up to to object to our theories is 42 USC 654-482, which the three magic words on the end of this are the ones that are causing the most problem. In federal law, it says that they must provide the services to everybody on welfare. And then number 2 at the bottom, any other child, if an individual applies for such services with respect to the child. Okay, you look at that, and again, depending on the lessons you've gone through on statutory construction, that may or may not be clear to you. What we say is that we have looked at many controlling authorities on this statute, on this law. We've looked at the rules of statutory construction. Our research team has looked at the poured through the Federal Register, poured through case law, poured through congressional intent again to say, any other child, what does that mean? What we found is that the word other has specific meaning in the law. That if the federal government would have intended, they made 2 distinct classes. If they would have wanted to include everyone, they would have said any child, not any other child, or they would have said all children, not any other child. This also is about a 20-minute conversation, which I won't get into now, but I want you to know we've done the research and we remain confident, maybe even doubly confident, that our interpretation is right, that nothing has ever changed in the congressional record to expand the class beyond those at welfare and those at risk of being on welfare. The Minnesota.
Now, guys, keep in mind, class, that this is why I didn't really interrupt her. I let her rock out towards that end because it's key that you understand how this is a money grab situation, guys. This is all of a money grab situation.
Minnesota DHS will also bring up one of the regulations, 45 CFR 302.33. In there, that regulation says the state plan must provide that the services established under this plan are made available to any individual. So the Minnesota DHS comes and says, see, we have to provide those services to everybody. Again, we've done the research. And based on our research, the only way that you could believe that to be true is if you believe that providing services is the same thing as making services available. I use the Walgreens example. You know, Walgreens corporate tells all their stores, you have to make aspirin available in all your stores. It doesn't mean you have to provide it to every person provide aspirin to every person that walks through the door, if they haven't met the criteria that's needed for aspirin. We've also looked in the Federal Register, as I mentioned before, and there's a specific.
All right, guys, just to make sure we up, and I don't blame you, Mr. Approach. Salute to you, man. Right now, this is not the ever to be duplicating your seed, to be giving your seed to any one of these demons, yo. Dead ass. You know what I mean? But word, guys, this shit is just crazy, guys. Keep in mind, just so that we all on the same page, you guys see what it is. A certain branch of the federal government deemed it fit to where they can make some money. So then now they're sitting there pushing this. They want every female to be on child support because they gain money for every child support case. That's what this is about. That's who invented motherfucking child support, guys. You know what I mean? And that don't come with a color. If any color, the color is green. All right? Ain't about the white man, ain't about the black man. It's about the green man.
Specific quote in the Federal Register where they attempted to make some changes in Congress with any other or other within Title IV of the medical provisions. And the Federal Register makes it very clear that the word other has very special meaning. The Minnesota DHS will also bring up 45303.2, which, by the way, all these statutes we knew about and we had researched before they brought these up. Because we're always trying to be one step ahead. We're always trying to check and double check all of our research to make sure that we are right so that we aren't purporting anything that ends up becoming wrong in the future. Well, in 303.2, they claim that they have to make these services available to everybody based on this. But what we find interesting in this particular regulation is it said that they must open a case based on an assessment. Well, guess what? Remember what I said earlier? There's no assessment process taking place at all with these applications. Plus, there is a difference between the word accept and approve. Of course, they have to provide an application to everyone, or there would be discrimination issues. Of course, they have to accept a filled out application from everyone who fills one out, or they would be accused of discrimination. But to approve an application is quite another thing. And as we've seen on the congressional record, you would approve an application if somebody qualified. The DHS also claims in their testimony to the legislature that they're going to lose $350 million. The way they come up with $350 million is they say they're going to lose the that should be $200 million funding in 4A funding is what that should be, and $150 million in 4D for a total of $350 million. So we question, we have to question ourselves, okay, nobody wants to lose that. Where is this coming from? They haven't been willing to tell us where this is coming from, so we've had to do the research ourselves to figure out what are the federal penalties. What we found is that the only way that you would lose all of your funding for both programs is if you didn't have a 4D program at all. We're not saying get rid of the 4D program. We're just saying bring it back into compliance with congressional intent. Well, then we look at the penalty statutes at the federal level. If it would be wrong to have eligibility standards for 4D, then this is the process that would take place for penalties. It's a 6-step process, according to the federal government. If they find you in violation through an audit, step 1, then step 2, they have to decide if you are not in substantial compliance, because the federal law only requires the state to provide services in 75% of the cases they receive an application for. Who's ever told you that? Then, if they find you not in compliance, the federal government would give the state a whole year corrective action period to say, shape up, change things, don't do this anymore. A whole year. Then after a whole year, if the state had not made those changes, then there would only be a 1 to 2% reduction in the 4A funding. Third year, 2 to 3% reduction in funding. Fourth year, 3 to 5% reduction in 4A funding. Nowhere does it say if they're in violation of the state plan, they're going to lose everything. So we've tried to work with the numbers here. And according to our numbers, if we're saying that the federal government would never come after the state if we implemented eligibility standards for this program, but if they did, the maximum penalty would be $10 million. We're saying that the state can save $100 million a year by removing the unqualified class out of the program. So if you take $100 million minus $10 million penalty at the most, you're still saving $90 million. We say that's worth looking at. We've also done research across the country and looked at many, many states, and we found that if California were to implement eligibility standards, that they would save $1 billion. And nationwide, we could save $88 billion by bringing this program back into compliance with congressional intent. Those are the 2 questions we've reviewed today. Does the federal government allow the state to initiate reform? And will the state lose $350 million if they do so? I like this quote from President Coolidge. Of all forms of government, those administered by agencies are about the least satisfactory. Being irresponsible, they become autocratic. Being autocratic, they resist improvement and change. Unless bureaucracy is constantly resisted, it breaks down representative government and overwhelms democracy. It is the one element in our institutions that set up the pretense of having authority over everybody and being responsible to nobody.
Understand, guys, this shit is not nothing other than an agency, a privately funded agency, guys. That's what she's talking about.
We are forcing that responsibility of the 4D program and hope that we can work together with you to figure out fiscally responsible decisions that can be made to put this program back into compliance. And with that, I'm ending about 10 minutes early, so we have plenty of time for questions.
All right, guys. So it's been real. I salute you if you got a chance to stick that throughout the whole thing. I know it's pretty dry. It's her video, but you know what I mean? I was able to use it, and it is what it is, guys. So you want to extract from this video how important it is to protect your seed now. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot of your friends that's just thirsty and desperate for these relationships, these marriages, and these babies. It's 2022, guys. Now is not the time, you know what I mean, to be doing this. Fuck shit. You're going to screw yourself. You're going to set yourself up for failure, guys. You know what I mean? Today we went through the biblical truth. We went through the basic instructions that told you, bro. Don't be dating with these broke bitches, bro. Stay away from these broke-minded bitches, bro. These poverty-stricken chicks, bro. For better understanding, if you need to know what a poverty-minded bitch is, bro, I will definitely do a video of 15, a list of 15 that'll give you the rules of poverty. And if you're dealing with a female that identify with any one of those rules of poverty on that list, then you need to plan your escape, bro. Because misery love company. And they are the cousin of poverty. All right, guys? So if you're feeling removed from your natural self, if you can't recognize who you are when you look in that mirror, it's because you're dealing with a sexually transmitted demon, bro. And you need to stop because you're only fooling you. You know what I mean? You're only fooling you. When you roll her out in front of the audience as this couple, you look stupid, fam. All right? And I don't know who taught you how to be dumb and how to overlook red flags, but identifying a Lilith-minded female is easy once you have healed, though. When you heal, you clear your energy reader, right? We all have energy readers, guys. What is an energy reader? An energy reader is your vibe detector. It's something that we all internally have that pick up on vibes. When a vibe is good for us or when a vibe is bad for us, we can pick up on it. But if we are operating on low vibrations ourselves and have not healed, then the only energy we're going to be able to identify with is the hell of an energy, guys. The energy that's going to further destroy us. This is why I tell you guys, heal, guys. Heal, 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 heal. That's the only way you're going to find your virtuous woman. You know what I mean? Because do believe, I don't give a fuck what these ideologies running around here is telling you. The goal is to leave from your mother's crib, find your matching rib, and take it to the top. And if they not kicking it like that, then you entertaining bullshit, foolishness. You're intaking garbage, all right? And if you intake too much of the garbage, guess what you become? Right. All right, guys? Guess what you become if you intake too much of the garbage, guys? Right. So we clearly see who created child support. Federal government, an agency created child support. Government Satan Zaddy created child support. and he can only use it with the partnership of his friend, Lilith. All right, guys? Stay woke. Class, are you satisfied with my answer, class? Are you satisfied? Are you not entertained today, little ones? Because I did this for my little ones. I did this for the next generation. That's why I go hard. So when I touch on the child support journey, I definitely gonna go in because we not supposed to put our kids in a hole. And when we go to this child support, when we go to government Satan Zaddy, we sit there and put our child last name, right? Since we like to cling to this. I do everything for my child. When you go to government Zaddy, you put your child last name right in the toilet and flush it. Because that's where the wealth go. That's why niggas is broke in the hood. Do you agree, class? Am I wrong for kicking these hell of a mothers in they ass hole with my big toe, class? That's what I'm talking about, yo. So, class, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. It's been 3 hours, one of the longest lives I've ever done. You know what I mean, guys? I need you guys to wake the fuck up. Stop intaking all this bullshit because it feel good or because it's too hard to accomplish the real shit. So you rather go with the flow, go with the bullshit because it's too hard to be a real alpha. So I'ma just believe in this because this fit me. I got all of this. Stop playing yourself, guys. Stop playing yourself. All right? Nobody likes a loser. Nobody likes a loser. Don't be a loser, right, class? Well, how do we feel about losers, class? On our way out. Nobody likes a loser. All right, guys, it's been real. Don't forget to tune in. I probably won't be live again until Sunday, guys. Sunday, I'll be over at the other channel doing the music thing. Y'all can catch, if y'all want to hear a lot of my music, my old music, and some of my new songs, want to hear a bunch of independent artists and they songs, check me out on Sunday. Again, guys, I'll be streaming to this channel. That will not be on the regular. I'm just streaming in this channel, trying to get that channel some momentum. You know what I mean? We'll be there live Sunday. We normally go live around 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Sunday. I got to check with my guy, Brose. And until then, guys, I'll holla. I'm out of here. Remember, guys, child support is not your friend. These
Yes, sir. That was a good old show right there, guys. But now we live and I'm at my warehouse. I'm at my company. You know, I own this. I own this. Say what's up to my daughter Ayana, y'all. You know what I mean? You see, I don't just talk about generational wealth. I am generational wealth. That's why y'all be hating. I continue to bust it wide open for the Walmart dudes, though. Because us dudes, us good brads, we don't want you. We don't want you. That's why you're mad. Salute, Stephanie, yo. Had a great conversation with you. Salute. But I'm talking to this one right here with the filter and the pink bows. How I feel to be a dummy, sis. How I feel to be wrong. How I feel to be sassy and wrong. Sassy and wrong. You talking to somebody that got results. Talking to somebody that got real life results, ma'am. Can your husband hire you, ma'am, since you're newly married? You newly married, so your husband can hire you, right? You work for your husband, or you one of them independent in a relationship women? You found you a sucker, right? Found you a simp sucker? All right, y'all. Wrap up. Strap up. Drink responsibly. Do not play with your life, guys. All right.